And we are live? Are we live?
We'll do it live.
Do it live! Fuck it! Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 203 of the FM Marks podcast.
I'm Jay.
I am the brainless one, and joining us for our very special episode is none other than FM Marks Hall of Famer,
El Jefe.
Yeah.
Hello.
I really like the angle on the top. Sorry, I had to put that out there. But anyway, our 5th annual Markie Awards.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
And it is also our third.
What's up, Jessica? Thanks for tuning in.
It is also our third annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony as well. So we kind of tie those two together at the end of the year.
Yes.
As sad as it is that I will never be a Hall of Famer for my own Hall of Fame class.
Just like Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Just like Chris Jericho will never be Money in the Bank winner.
Right.
So we have quite a bit to get into. We have the Hall of Fame inductions. We have 4 brand new members of the FM Marks Hall of Fame that will be going in. Well, 3 people in
one of the greatest wrestling events of all time.
What are we talking about? WrestleMania 11?
No, not yet. Not yet.
How about never? That is one of the 3 worst WrestleManias of all time. I don't even care if I was there or not. I would never want that in my Hall of Fame. But like Jay said, one of the greatest shows of all time will also be going into the Hall of Fame. So we will be sprinkling in some awards and all that stuff to go with the Hall of Fame induction. So
Yeah.
I'll get right into it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So is there anything that we wanted to talk about in regards to like wrestling this week?
I mean, the last week, obviously, we had like TLC, and we did have a new Intercontinental Champion crowned last night.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I think this year, if you've been joining us this year, for my sporadic appearances, I haven't really watched much pro wrestling in 2020. I follow along on social media and stuff. But yesterday, it just happened that I was watching the football game, and it led into SmackDown. So I watched a little bit of SmackDown last night, watched the Roman Reigns Kevin Owens match. Good match, hated the finish. Then I watched the women's tag team match where they came out, had to do a 5-second promo for some fucking reason. And then kind of just decided, this isn't worth it.
Thanks, Vince
It
McMahon.
can't be that bad, Jeff. Come on. It's SmackDown. SmackDown's a much better show than Raw.
That's like saying getting your teeth pulled
That's like
better
saying-
than getting your fingernails.
It's like saying the Cincinnati Bengals are a better football team than the Jets.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
What's up, Mike? Yeah, Chris, SmackDown ratings were huge last night, but definitely football lead-in.
the football lead-in was huge for that. And I think if Fox was smart, they'd move them to Thursdays and have an earlier football game.
Yeah.
But that's just never going to happen. They were very, very fortunate to be in the time slot they were yesterday, and just timing worked out. Of course, it was probably a pre-recorded SmackDown that I think about it.
I saw the spoilers on like Wednesday, and I'm like, oh
yeah. I mean, it had to be. I mean, everyone had to go home. Oh, Herc's in here. Hi, Herc.
Hi, Almighty. Look at him. He's like, I don't want to be a Hall of Famer. I don't want to win a Markie Award next year, so I'm just going to exit stage right.
I'll take care of that.
Bubba, I missed you.
I'll be taking that.
Go. Whoop. Oh, there you go.
Do the show.
Okay. Sorry, it's the cat. It's the cat. But Jeff, I've kind of been like the same with you. Like, I haven't really been watching a lot of professional wrestling, if I can admit to that. I do watch SmackDown almost the entire show on Fridays. Okay. I try to get through at least the first hour of NXT. I usually have no problem getting through NXT. NXT is the only watchable shit that WWE produces now, and AEW is just shit.
Is it bad?
Shit. It's fucking bad.
Okay.
I can't
Well,
watch it.
I know you hate the world champion. Is that part of the reason?
No, I haven't watched AEW in like 3 or 4 months.
Really? It's that bad right now.
I can't do it. I mean, they did a great job building up Orange Cassidy the way that Jericho helped build up Orange Cassidy, and then it's just he's had like one TNT title match, and he hasn't really done shit since then, and he's lost a bunch of matches.
What do you think the issue is? Are you still trying to find a groove, or are they just trying, or they just don't know what they're doing?
I think they're
working wise.
I think part of the problem with AEW is that they're trying to do things just like WWE, even though they're trying to say that they're not trying to do things like WWE does.
Is it just the booking formula, or is it how they shoot things?
If you look at it, I think it's mostly booking. Because if you think about it, a lot of the people that they brought in, they made a big deal about all these people that they brought into AEW. And it's like a lot of these people are not getting TV time because it's like, oh, look, we got to put the Young Bucks in the tag team match. And, oh, look, Kenny Omega. We got to get him on TV. And it's like,
yeah, no shit, you got to get him on TV. He's got fucking champion.
But, like, even before so, like, even that stupid, ridiculous, over-the-top, retarded-ass freaking entrance they used to do.
love it.
And then, of course, the best one was when John Moxley took part in it and threw him through the freaking the thing and beat the shit out of him. I said, well, that's the most creative one that they came up with yet. Fuck Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
I'm the cleaner. Culture's biggest wet dream.
That's Okada, but go on.
I just can't. It's like they always have to put the Bucks on now, and now they had to.
Yeah, you know, I've never really gotten the Bucks, honestly. I know they're good. They're good. I mean, they're good wrestlers. I just don't see.
My thing with them is, I agree with you. I do like them as
they're good wrestlers, but I don't need them down my fucking dick every week. You know.
Well, you know, with the Young Bucks, like the original plan, they weren't supposed to have a championship at this point. So
that's all. No gimmicks.
Hey, you know what, fellas? Maybe I need to call up Billy D. Williams. Yeah, fellas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and we're going old school with the yes.
That tastes really good. I've had a Colt 45 since the last time I was on the show.
I haven't had a Colt. I couldn't even tell you the last time I had a Colt 45, but that is fucking delicious.
That's refreshing.
Yes, works every time.
The new logo on it and everything. They need to bring back the OG Billy D. Williams.
They bring Juicy J back for that.
Lando motherfucking Calrissian.
Juicy J. Academy Award winner.
That's so Chris Brown actually came in and chimed in and said that the way AEW books.
You want to have a good time. Rule number 1, never run out of Colt 45. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1.
Yeah.
You
want to know why you should keep plenty of Colt 45 on hand?
Cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Might show up. I don't claim you can have a better time with Colt 45 than without it. But why take chances?
The power of Colt 45. It works every time.
That is OG FM Marks Hall of Famer, Lando motherfucking Calrissian.
Yeah.
AKA the commissioner. I'm sorry, no.
Commissioner.
He was
he was Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent in the OG Batman, and most importantly, he's
in Rise of Skywalker.
He is in Rise of Skywalker.
Hey, there's a new Lando Calrissian show.
Now the Lando Calrissian show. Is it going to be with
It's not going to be with him, I don't think. I think it's
the dude who played him in Solo.
Oh,
he was awesome.
Yeah, Donald Glover.
Yeah,
Childish Gambino.
Yeah, he was awesome.
It'll be great.
Yeah,
but I don't know if that's what they're going to do. Hopefully. I'm very excited about all those new Star Wars series.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You guys haven't seen The Mandalorian yet? Do it now!
I have to
yeah.
After this.
I have somebody that needs to watch the first season of Mandalorian, which they just started doing. And once they get caught up, then I can start watching season 2 and get caught up.
Oh, dude, the last scene of the scene.
Are you talking the last scene or the last?
Both.
All right.
I mean, the post-credit scene too.
Yeah.
My girl Ming Na Wen, girl. Agent May.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, anything else that really stood out this week other than Big E becoming the new Intercontinental Champion on Christmas Day?
Well, I think in general, like TLC actually was a pretty decent show.
Was it?
It was.
It was
interesting. All I saw was Randy Arson making a return.
Right.
I will say this: the TLC match between McIntyre and Styles was actually pretty solid, and then they implemented the Miz, your boy from your
land.
From the land.
And they turned it into a triple threat match, and they made Money in the Bank briefcase a joke.
Yeah, basically.
I did see that.
Roman and Kevin Owens actually had a really solid match, even with adding like the Jey Uso thing. I thought that was a very nice.
Uso,
the one of the two that's still alive.
The one is the one
Yeah.
who the one that has the alcohol problem, or the one who doesn't.
Yeah. But
Oh,
They're
Gags
the same guy.
Gags DeCon is saying you need a scout in your life. By the way,
hey.
El Jefe last night had one of the greatest stouts that exists.
Yes, I did. Hardywood gingerbread stout, and this was the
It was the bourbon barrel aged.
aged.
Oh,
Oh.
that thing! I had one of those a few days ago. That thing is amazing.
Incredible. I'm upset I only got one bottle of it.
Yeah.
Nicole, if you're watching, what is the name of that giant bottle of beer I got from Total Wine that I'm going to be enjoying at some point this weekend?
All right, Chris Brown. How about the fact that WWE is yanking Pat McAfee from TV? Brainless one.
Yeah, what's that about?
I found that very interesting, and because when he posted that, I went and I did my research on it. It looks like they're just going to take him off the TV for the time being. I think it's
spring.
I think it's going to be until the springtime.
So I need to ask why that is. He's one of the best things they have.
What do you mean one of them? He is the best thing they have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee's the biggest heel in all of
WWE.
WWE. Oh, maybe not WWE. Definitely the biggest heel.
So is there like something going on with his college football contract that he can't be on TV, or like, what's going on?
No, honestly, it sounds like he was ready to go. He was set to be on TV like this week, and then they decided we're not doing this. I don't know. I don't know if they want to maintain him as an attraction because he's not going to go to WWE or NXT full time.
No,
he can't. He has too much other stuff going on. So to maintain his attraction, they're probably going to be like, yeah, we'll have him every once in a while. They can, do things where like they have Lorcan, they have Birch, and Pete Dunne doing stuff.
I was going to say,
and occasionally, whether it's a video package, have Pat McAfee part of it.
Would you consider him a modern day Kevin Green? A former football player coming in as an attraction.
I think he's a little.
I think he's a better performer than Kevin Green. Yeah, rip Kevin Green.
Yeah. Third all time in sacks in NFL history. Hall of Famer Kevin Green.
Yeah.
But
not our Kevin Green.
So
yes.
Andy Vest, dude, those are hilarious. Why didn't we ever get Tommy Rich versus Dusty Rhodes? How about Ronnie Garvin and Bart Gunn? Hilarious. Dark Hollow is what you got.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Mm.
It was because you guys kept on talking about the barrel aged.
Yeah, the bourbon barrel
aged. Bro, it's
so good.
I'm like it's still home. It's still.
I love my Christmas sale from Great Lakes Brewing.
However, Gags to call him. He is not a football player. He's a punter.
Wow, dude! You see some of the tackles he had to make? He's a football player, man.
That's what I don't understand.
He's the football guy. He's the one. Get one. You have football.
My buddy did the same thing. My buddy was like, kickers and punters are not real football players because they don't really get hit. And then and I'd like to also mention, since we are talking about it, is a line that, what the hell is that dude? Dak Shepard said in the movie Employee of the Month. When he went up to freaking Dane Cook and he said, you got to be the quarterback to win the MVP. Can't be the punter. They gave him the finger and walked out.
All right, who wins? Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly versus
Rhodes, Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart. Well, they would book it that the old people would win.
Oh yeah, they have to.
But
Shawn Michaels is in the match. There's no way Shawn Michaels losing that match. It's Hogan.
Yeah.
Well, wait. I think the new guys win because Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart get into a fight, and then that ends up.
And then Dusty Rhodes starts dancing around.
Yeah.
Because he's a common man, and he was working on the audit team at my job.
Dude, Brasno has his thoughts about the Rey Mysterio storyline where Rey Mysterio's daughter fucks Seth Rollins.
What's up, Timmy?
What's up, Timmy?
Is that what's happening? Is that the thing? Or no, she fucks Buddy Murphy.
That's Chris Brown. That's not Tony Brown.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Chris Brown.
So yeah,
you don't have to take that from him. You're also going to be, you're going to be.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm rusty, man. Forgot.
Yeah. Hey, I think I saw our friend Nick is tuning in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Predict.
So, as a whole, I think TLC was actually pretty solid. Like I said, they had a bunch of really good matches. Carmella looks really good. I'm really excited about this new character that she's kind of brought into this.
So is Corey Graves. He
Well,
goes
dude,
on
I wish he just shut the fuck up. But honestly, Carmella looked pretty good last night, and I guess she looked good at TLC as well. Everyone was very, very pleased with how she wrestled. Obviously, that time off has done her well.
Yeah.
Had a new character, has new music, which kind of makes sense because that old song sucked.
Right.
But
I mean,
and she's they glammed her up a bit.
Right.
So, I mean, they're trying to do something with her. It looks like.
Well, and the thing is like I thought she did really well when they put her on that with James Ellsworth. Like I thought that was a good pairing. Like character-wise, right? Character-wise, Carmella did like really well with that. And then when they put her with R-Truth, like that was apparently just something that randomly happened.
Well, that's most of R-Truth's things. But that's because Vince loves him and lets him just do whatever.
But that Carmella thing was only supposed to last like a week, and it ended up being, I think, a year and a half. And I think she just went as far as she could go on that phase of the character. And like, it's like,
did you get hurt? She just needed some time. They just took her off TV for a little bit.
Yeah.
She probably going to go get some training. Graves obviously probably helped her out a bit.
Yeah.
Graves has. She probably got trained outside of WWE too.
That's a very interesting topic that Jessica just brought up. She said, "How long do you guys see Charlotte? How long do you guys see until Charlotte turns on?"
I mean, that's obviously the game plan here, right? I mean, Charlotte Flair doesn't come back and not fight for the fucking title. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna say Royal Rumble. Because they need to set up for WrestleMania.
Well, no. She'll win the Royal Rumble.
She's not winning the Royal Rumble.
You don't think Charlotte Flair?
I have a crazy theory on how they're going to do the Royal Rumble. Tinfoil hat. This is a wait. I have a theory on what's going to happen with the Royal Rumble. So the way that they've been kind of doing this,
with the way you said that, I'm suspecting that you have 5 weights.
No, I have 1. This is my massive tinfoil hat theory. There's only 1 or 2 things that's going to happen. Number 1, either Ronda Rousey returns or Tessa Blanchard debuts at the Royal Rumble.
They cannot have
That's
Tessa
the lesser.
Blanchard.
Hold on. That's the lesser. My theory, and I think this is really good, and there's going to be a lot of legs to it. So at the Survivor Series, they did the Raw women's team versus the SmackDown women's team. And basically the Raw's team, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, told Lana to stay outside of the ring and not get tagged in. And basically at the end of it, it was Bianca Belair and that fat piece of garbage that calls herself a wrestler, Nia Jax. And, they did this thing where they were fighting outside the ring and, Bianca Belair kind of like tossed Nia Jax, and I'm surprised she still has a back, over the railing and everything. And as it was happening, the ref was getting to the count 9, 10. She got counted out. So they both got counted out. And Lana was the last person standing. So Lana won the match for Team Raw.
Was she the sole survivor? Was she was
the
the actual sole survivor? Or did they have like 3 sole survivors?
It was So my theory is they're going to have the Royal Rumble like they typically do. And basically 29 is going to get in the ring and all chaos is going to happen. And somehow the last 2 women in the ring before 30 eliminate each other, and as soon as that happens, it'll be 10-9-8, and then whoever's 30 walks in and wins the Royal Rumble, and that's gonna be Lana.
Wow, that would be like just the dumbest thing they could possibly do.
But would it be surprising with what?
Oh, it'd be surprising, but like you go to WrestleMania, and then like WrestleMania 37, we are 1 year away from WrestleMania 38. By the way,
as I am well aware.
I need to hear. That vaccine is going right into me, and we're gonna be going to WrestleMania 38.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Road trip, baby.
Yeah. Woo! Wherever we're going. I don't know where they're going to go.
As long as it's not California.
Probably will be.
If it's California, I'm not road tripping to California.
We can fly.
Yeah.
And get some good drugs to knock me out.
We're going to get what B.A. Baracus got.
You better.
I'm going to give you what Triple H gave to Stephanie.
Yeah.
But that's my crazy tinfoil hat theory of that.
All right, Chris Brown saying a certain female legend is giving hints that she wants to come back for another run.
Is her name?
Why not have her make her return during the Rumble and set up her feud?
Trish Stratus? I don't know who we're talking about here.
Her and Sasha Banks is my guess. Because her and Sasha have been kind of
She wants
teasing
to
on
be
social.
stratified.
She wants
I
to
want to
be.
be satisfied.
I like to point out that Sasha Banks made a tornado DDT canon in Star Wars, so good for her.
Yes.
Mercedes
As much
Renault.
as I don't appreciate the fact that she walked out on her job, I appreciate seeing wrestling moves in basically anything I see on TV, like Roddy Piper with Keith David. And like I remember seeing a gut wrench suplex during that fight where Roddy Piper was trying to get the sunglasses on Keith David.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, gut wrench suplex. I was sitting there like doing commentary.
Yeah,
like,
I did that too during the Mandalorian. Like, so now we know what she was doing during that whole time. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Sasha Banks, what's she doing? She's doing jack shit. She's just sitting on her ass at home because she's being a bitch." No, she's actually doing something worthwhile and something way cooler than fucking wrestling. So, my favorite thing. I don't know if you guys have talked about this yet. How they found her for that? It wasn't from wrestling.
No.
It's because she went on that fucking Hot Wings challenge show, and John Brown was like, "Hey, she's got a good look.
why don't we get her?
Why don't we get her?" And they
Maybe,
did.
maybe they'll get the Undertaker now because he was on the Hot Wings Challenge show also.
Idris Elba was too. That's the famous gift.
Stringer Bell.
So Jessica
Yeah.
Hoffman chimed in. Brainless one. My brother-in-law said he had read that Ronda may be coming back at WrestleMania. That wouldn't have surprised me. I mean, there's a lot of like discussions out there because like Ronda's been talking about how she doesn't want to do it anymore. She's talked about like what her least favorite thing about professional wrestling is, which is surprisingly the fans.
Hey, yeah, I know. Fucking marks, right?
Well, right? Yeah.
Fucking trash baggers. You know what kind of marks really piss me off are the guys who wear T-shirts that have tuxedos on them while drinking Colt 45, and then they have to do like an end of the year awards program so they can say that Nia Jax is the worst.
She is the worst.
Yeah, look at those fucking losers. What fucking losers would do that? For those tuxedo shirts.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's because I
wasn't
couldn't
the fact
fucking-
I was going to say, if you could, wasn't the fact that you're wearing that one, I would be like, all right.
I almost wore my own Hart shirt.
Rip.
I could have worn my own Hart shirt.
Rip.
Because I bought that Owen Hart shirt after the Dark Side of the Ring came out. They're like, "Hey, we're doing Owen Hart shirts for the first time." I'm like, I'm in. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping I can find some.
It is a reference to Trish. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
cool. Okay, I'm all about it. I'm all
All
about
right.
Trish Stratus. Little Stratisfaction. Trish Stratus is still a sniper. 45 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Woohoo,
Mm.
baby.
So am I not allowed to sync up to the JBL, to the John Bradshaw Layfield speaker?
I think it's because I'm on the John Brett
Okay.
Layfield speaker.
So
I mean, if you want,
I was gonna find a soundbite that said the worst.
right.
The Jean Raffio's sister. So, all right. Anything else we want to discuss, or should we get?
All
to a
right.
couple
Andy Vest saying James Storm, Bobby Roode, Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane versus FTR and Fish and O'Reilly. Who wins?
FTR, Fish, and O'Reilly.
Yeah.
I love James Storm. Remember that one time he was on NXT for 5 minutes?
Yes.
That was hilarious. And
Oh, appreciate that, Michael. He likes the tuxedo shirts. I thought that was a nice touch.
Well, I mean, we're just trying to class up the F and Mark's, Hall of Fame show.
Hey, I wore
Markie Awards.
I'll try to find mine for next year, as I will be
Yeah.
sticking around for a while. So
Yeah.
Sweet.
sign a 2-year contract.
Mm.
Hey, where's the applause? We need the applause. I'm sorry. We need the applause. That's
That's
the applause.
yeah. Quite literally, I was trying to find the worst.
Which is great because you actually got a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, look at that thing is like
That's really loud.
1/10 of the size.
Congratulations that Wavy was able to sign you to a longer contract than what Trevor Bauer is going to sign you to all season.
I tried to sign a Trevor Bauer contract. They don't do this anymore, apparently.
They're like, you're not Trevor Bauer.
Guess not.
When he resigns.
I was doing Trevor Bauer contracts, but
when he resigns with Cleveland.
yeah, the last 2 contracts were Trevor Bauer contracts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you and Slam Tana both signed new 2-year contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, yours is here in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia, and Carlos Santana signed with Kansas City.
Yeah, I think I'm better off. Kansas City.
I'm asking you to make a donation right now. To help
Don't make a
Flint, Georgia,
donation
and
right
Don't make a
now.
donation. It's an ad.
To that, no, it was
Yeah,
anyway. So,
but I was able to find Jean Ralphio.
which is the greatest thing ever, and the worst.
Ralph Darrell's the other guy.
All right, so I say we go through some of these awards.
Sports time.
Yes.
Jay, I think next year you need to record an awards show riff for this.
You know what? I will.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the people who are
Damn it.
there's my answer. I was going to ask what the riff was. I was going to post like we're gonna have,
Remember they did the comedy awards in
Andy
South Park?
Besk is trying to get you to tism, dude.
Me?
Wrestler of the Year, Kenny Omega.
Hell yeah.
Moolah.
Tag team of the year. Fuck the world. Fuck the revival.
They go hard all day and night. Say
Moolah. AKA
Moolah.
Al Jax.
Nia Jackson.
Fabulous. Is that her thing? Is she calling herself Moolah now?
No.
Oh God. I would have been offended, even though Fabulous Moolah is
All right,
not a good person.
So I think for our first award, I think we should go a little outside the box a little bit, and I think we're going to go 2 awards back to back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the first award,
Yeah.
we're going to do the top tag team of 2020 and the worst tag team of 2020.
You can do that. I can't do the worst. I can't.
The
worst.
If you get a whole season of Parks and Rec in, and you watch Jean Ralphio and his sister, you'll understand, and you'll be able to.
Yeah, but
tell.
I think your voice is just going an octave higher than mine.
The worst.
The worst.
See,
There you
you
go.
just got to do
Just gotta
the
go
falsetto.
practice.
Do the falsetto. It's great.
All right, so
Kenny Olivia.
should I do the
Liberty
nominations?
requires Liberty Mutual.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, let's do it, guys.
All right, so let me get the nominees for the mark out.
Mark out with the Glock out award.
Yeah.
We don't have that. Surprisingly.
Wait. That should be an award.
See, I'm like sitting. I come on the show like 5 times a year. I create awards better than you.
All right.
Wait.
So the way that I did it this year, I did post all of the categories in the thing, and I gave everybody an option.
In the thing.
On our Facebook page.
In the thing.
In the thing. It's the brainless. What do you want from me? I'm brainless. So we did. So I did it on the Facebook page and everything, and I gave everybody 4 options for every one. But everybody had the option to write in one if you didn't like my options, because either I was, you just think that somebody else deserved it, or you just wanted to be fuck the brainless one. So
Right. Like Kenny Omega.
So for this year, for the first category, we're going to go with, like I said, Tag Team of the Year. And our nominees are The New Day.
The New Day.
I'm going to go with also nominating the Street Profits. The Young Bucks, because why the fuck not? I got to have the Young Bucks in there.
Yeah.
And just because I wanted to throw a curveball in there, plus I wanted to just say it and then, do what I was going to do afterwards, I am going with NXT UK champions for the tag teams of Gallus and shit, man.
Gallus,
And I
rhymes
think
with
like Gallus is fucking
Gallus,
right, man.
Gallus rhymes with Dallas and shit, man. So I think Gallus is the greatest tag team of all time because they have just as many championships as the Dallas Cowboys and shit.
You know what? I kind of wish I had watched more NXT UK over the past few years.
Yeah.
It's very every time I've never been disappointed by it. I've never say, oh wow, I really hate this show. I've never thought that about that show ever. And I think it's just because of how talented everyone is in the UK. They wrestle a different style.
Yeah. And to me, it's one of my favorite styles. So
Yeah, the UK strong style, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
it's not AJ Styles.
Yeah,
I think
but I mean, I can see Gallus being the tag team of the year. I can. You know what? Fuck it. I'll give it to him.
okay.
All right.
It rhymes with Dallas. So why not?
The fans, the fans put out their answers, and from the fans, we have the Street Profits. As
Good
the top
choice.
tag
I
team.
love the Street Profits.
I
think Montez
agree.
Ford.
I put the Street Profits in there as my team of the year. they did a lot of good stuff. The fact that they took a
young fucks.
the stuff they did with the Viking Raiders, I know is not everybody's cup of tea, but they had to do something
War
to fill
Machine.
TV time. And I thought they were entertaining as all hell. The other thing I'll say about that is right before WrestleMania, Montez Ford, when he killed himself.
Oh my God.
WrestleMania! And then he was not supposed to do that move, but he ended up basically taking one of the worst bumps of the year that was not associated with Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy.
Dude, Montez Ford, man, constant improvement from him in the ring.
He's got a very devastating.
He has
frog
the
splash
best frog splash
ever.
He's one of the most athletic people I've ever
Yeah,
seen in
agreed.
wrestling, for
He
sure.
reminds me a lot of a young Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I think
he's got better charisma than Kofi Kingston too.
I do too.
More
And he has
charisma
more
and-
athleticism. He's just not as polished as Kofi is,
Right.
or Kofi was. At that time.
Well, and the thing with Kofi back then, that like
I'm a Kofi Kingston.
SOS.
Kofi, what happened to your Jamaican accent?
right.
That's still one of my favorite moments when they had the time machine.
Oh yes,
That was actually-
2009 was a great year for me. Except for Randy
I
Orton.
want to go back to 2009. That was some funny shit right there.
The thing
And
I'll
then they
say,
did the old day.
actually, one of the things I'm going to say about Kofi back in the day, he had a bunch of moves in his move set. He would only hit 50% of the time because he would quasi botch them.
Yeah.
He doesn't do those anymore. I don't see that out of Montez Ford. I think as far as like in ring, Montez is getting better at back at the beginning of Kofi's run. I think he did moves that it's like, dude, don't do that. Because you're not able to complete the move cleanly.
And I'll tell you, like Randy Orton actually called him out on it too. If you think about when they were feuding back in 2009, when he called him stupid, and it's like you gotta take constructive criticism. If you think about it, in WWE, if you fuck up, you have a chance to fix yourself, or you have a chance to just get buried. And the fact that Kofi's been there for as long as that wasn't even a burp. That was like, ugh, whatever that was.
You all threw up.
A burp pickup.
Yeah.
But
But Montez Ford does remind me a lot of Kofi Kingston. Montez Ford can do some things like I've never seen anybody who gets up as high as he does on a frog.
Oh my
splash.
God, dude, he's like at least 15 feet in the air.
He's like a fucking frog, and he just ribbons and.
But he's like the frog splash. No, he's got the jumps, man. He's got that flexibility to get the jumps.
he gets up higher than Eddie. He gets up higher than
Kevin Owens.
He gets up. Surprisingly, he gets up higher than Rob Van Dam.
I thought I'd never see a better frog splash than Rob Van Dam.
Because I'll say this. For the longest time, the argument was it Eddie Guerrero or was it Rob Van Dam that had the better frog splash? They both had great frog splashes. I do love RVD's frog splash.
Oh my God, great! It's about the roll he does after.
But it's especially because like when Eddie hits it, it looks like impressive. When RVD hits it, he sells the shit out of
Like
it fucked him up, and then he's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna red rock," and I love that shit. But like Montez Ford, like bounces off the ceiling of the building and then lands on the person, and that's thing. So
right.
Hopefully that trying to reconnect. So YouTube.
Anyway, we're still on YouTube. So.
But anyway, so it looks like Jeff gave the
gals and shit, man.
Gallus.
And it looks like Jay and I and like everybody else is going with the Street Profits, even though you don't seem like you're very upset about it.
No, I'm absolutely not. No,
So
the Bucks are great.
Yeah.
Honest to God, good for Angelo Dawkins too, man. He was in NXT. He was in development for so long.
He was in NXT.
So long.
Yeah.
And he finally got an act because they tried so hard with him. They really thought they had something with him. They just needed the right partner for him.
Yep.
And they finally got him in Montez Ford. I'm very, very happy for him.
Yeah. I have category nominations for worst tag team. I'm pretty sure I did. I did pretty well.
You do have worse.
Oh, here we go. All right, so for worst tag team, the nominees are, you can thank Nicole for this first one, Breezango, Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler, the Lucha House Party, and the Forgotten Bones.
What the worst tag team?
The worst.
Name those again.
Worst!
Name those again.
Breezango, Baszler, and Nia Jax. I was hoping that Nia Jax was going to clean house. Her and freaking Walter have a chance to take home a lot of hardware today. That was my doing. But then I'm going to go with the Forgotten Bums. And where the hell was the last one? Where the hell did it go? I'm sorry. The Lucha House Party.
Forgotten Bombs, man. I mean, think about this. So they were on the cusp of doing something good. And then Jackson Riker had to go be racist on Twitter. So, I mean,
this was one of the few categories that I really had a hard time deciding. I really did.
But I will say I feel bad for Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake, who was finally on the cusp of actually doing something.
But they are back now.
Without Jackson Riker?
They're not with Jackson Riker. They are now associated with Baron Corbin.
Oh,
part of the King's Kingdom or whatever the fuck they are.
Is he still King Corbin?
They are both clean shaven.
Wait, I'm sorry. He's still King Corbin?
He's still King
It's
Corbin.
been like 2 fucking years. What?
He brings the darkness. He would win fucking Entrance of the Year every year.
Oh, because he has the last Jim Johnson song.
But Jackson Riker is now with Elias.
Jackson
Or at
Riker,
least it looks like he's going to be with Elias.
Jackson Riker went from leading a faction,
A bum faction
of bums, to now walking with Elias.
I mean,
He's a
beast,
dude.
He's a beast, dude. I mean, he's jacked as fuck. He has talent. Gunner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it just he needs to fucking not use his Twitter fingers to say stupid shit.
Right. Wait. So my worst tag team, I'm going with the Lucha House Party because,
Chris Brown.
like, honestly, with the Lucha House Party, it's like they're talented in-ring performers, but
Who's in the Lucha House Party nowadays?
It's
Grand Metallica,
and Lindsay Dorado.
and it used to be with what the hell's his name?
Kalisto.
The greatest promo ever during a live draft.
I missed those days. Those were the days where WWE is like, all right, we have some hope here. You know, that first year of the brand split, good shit, pal.
It was such
good shit.
It was good.
And
it just kind of just dove down.
And I missed those because that was actually the only 3-hour Raw they had every single year, other than like if they did like let's bring back all the legends Raw, and like the draft. I fucking love the draft because that whole concept, and I talked about it before on the podcast. That was back when the draft used to be, it would be Raw versus SmackDown, and it would be like one guy versus Raw versus one guy versus SmackDown.
Sure.
And whoever would win the match would win the draft pick for the team. And then they had the little randomizer where all the wrestlers would come in and be like, oh my God, John Cena wins the opening match. And then they'll be like, oh my God, Randy Orton's been drafted to Monday Night Raw. And he'd come out.
You're nursing that. Let's go.
He's slow and go.
What are you, my mother?
Yes.
You don't want me to chug this thing.
Right? That's what she said. So, I'm going with the Lucha House Party.
I'm also going with the Lucha House Party.
Fair enough.
All right, so...
what was the fan vote?
We had we had a bunch of votes for the Lucha House Party, and Nicole voted for Breezango.
I don't get... Why does Nicole hate Breezango so much?
Nicole, if you're chiming in, could you please tell Jeff why you
I don't get it. They're so cool. They're awesome. The smartest, one of the smartest things.
We're gonna put her on the spot now.
Yeah, one
She's
of the
like,
smartest
I watch
things.
this every single week, and I always get, she comes in, she chimes in every so often. A lot of times it's just
It's her day one, not so H. Look,
she's been day one since day one is H.
So,
Nicole, we would like to know. El Jefe would like to know.
Yeah, I would like to know that. That's ridiculous.
Why your disdain for Breezango?
I mean, one of the smartest things they did in NXT, or actually on SmackDown, was put those two together.
And it was good because at the time, Tyler Breeze wasn't doing shit. Tyler Breeze was losing matches left and right.
And what pissed me off is Tyler Breeze awesome.
And he was so stupid with that selfie stick. I thought that was stupid.
I love the selfie stick. Don't even give me that. Don't even give me that. That was perfect. That was perfect for his gimmick. I love this stuff because first it was held the phone, right? And then the selfie sticks became a thing. He got the selfie, but the first time he pulled the selfie stick out, I was like, "Holy fuck!" I got selfie stick.
Not only did he do the selfie stick, but then he like glammed it all up. Yeah, it made it crazy.
She can't stand the stick.
Fandango shit.
That's the whole point.
No.
It's
Fandango.
Oh shit! And the worst upset in fucking WrestleMania history belongs to Fandango for beating the GOAT Chris Jericho.
Fandango's the GOAT. Johnny Curtis.
But she is the one that voted for Breezango. I had to put it out there.
All right.
All right, let's go through a couple more of these.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll get into an inductee for the F and Marks Hall of Fame. All right,
Yeah.
so I think for the next one, we go with the best and worst storylines of the year of 2020. Now, in this year, we've seen quite a few things that have happened. And I'll tell you right now, one of my, for best story, got actually flipped to the worst storyline of the year. And I'll tell you right now, like, Money in the Bank really stood out for me this year because they did it. It was so different because obviously we're in the middle of a
That was the
pandemic.
last time I watched wrestling on purpose until yesterday.
And fucking, I'll tell you, Otis winning the Money in the Bank briefcase was such a great moment because I not only did I predict it, but Otis Dosovich, who gets so much love on this podcast because he's
The
one of our
Dozer,
personal favorites. I love the Dozer. I really want to take him to Crazy Buffet with us.
Was it here or Tucker that responded to us, or both of them? When we talked about like going to the buffet.
Go to
like,
Crazy Buffet.
Oh my God.
And like
That's awesome.
Tucker responded, and Otis liked the tweet, and I'm like, all right, they are now officially our thing. Because if we had said, hey, Kevin Owens should go to a fucking all-you-can-eat buffet with us,
He would have blocked you.
he would have freaking cried for about 20 minutes, then blocked us and said that we're fucking horrible people. And Kevin Owens can go fuck himself.
Wow.
That piece of shit.
Kevin Owens is great. Kevin Owens is great. Not even.
But
Not even.
so 2020 has brought us some very interesting storylines, to say the least. And I'll tell you, we've had some really good ones, and we've had some really bad ones. So for me, the nominations that I have for best storyline of the year, say what you will, as much as I don't like Kenny Omega, that whole build-up between Hangman Page and Kenny Omega was so perfectly done. It was the first thing that came to mind when it was talking about the best storylines for this year, because that whole thing where like AEW, and I give them a lot of credit for this one, because AEW do stupid shit where it would be like, last time since Adam Page had his last drink was like 0 days, and the last time Kenny Omega, the pussy bitch, was like over 3,000 days. You know, Hangman Page is coming down to the ring with a beer, hands his beer to somebody, does a flip into the ring, clotheslines to do, runs back, and takes his freaking and drinks the rest of his beer. I love the fact that I live in Virginia, because I could say that I'm in the same state that Hangman Page is from, and his 500 people in his town that he lives in.
Yeah, his town is not even incorporated. I can't even put it on Wikipedia.
I know, you can't, you
You
can't even search it on Google Maps.
Exactly. That's how like fucking.
He's out in the middle of nowhere.
He's literally the middle of nowhere.
Whereas like 500 people and like 212 of them
probably-
got the buckshot lariat from him.
It's probably not even that many people. It's probably like 50.
And they housed one of the greatest wrestlers of our generation, or this
Yes.
generation. But I love that storyline for this year. Other ones that really stood out for me, Alexa Bliss joining forces with The Fiend, because nobody saw it coming. I thought that was so perfectly done that they did that. So I had to put that as a nomination, because you look at Alexa Bliss, she's kind of like she really is restless bitch face, and she is the way that she is, and
Restless bitch face?
Resting.
what did I say? Wrestling.
Restless.
Restless bitch
Oh,
face.
well,
Brainless
That
one.
means they can't stop moving.
so I gotta give it to Alexa Bliss joining forces with The Fiend, because it was
Tony
different.
Brown Snow's here.
How many?
You got Omega.
There's a lot of Hall of Famers going on here. I don't know how I feel about this. There's already two. There's two nominations that have already chimed in. I'm sitting next to one. We got another one, Omega and Me to Death. I just can't wait, because Tommy's going to chime in at some point and be like, Axel is not in the Royal Rumble anymore, but Hornswoggle is, and I'm not putting that shithead fucking Hornswoggle in the fucking.
Yeah.
But anyway, another one for nominations was MJF in the Inner Circle. I thought that was unique, if anything.
Yeah.
And best story out of the year that kind of came in like last minute near the end of the year. Paul Heyman joining forces with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like he doesn't do what Roman doesn't do what he does unless he gets the sign off from Paul Heyman. If there's any other storylines that the standout and everything. Like if you want to say like the whole Garganos joining forces and having their little.
Oh, I love that. I love that little story on this. Indy Hartwell and Autism Theory.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like I don't really like Austin Theory very much because
He's
but
it's
allegedly. So
I will say this: Johnny Gargano is doing his best work at this very moment.
Isn't it awesome?
He's fucking killing.
No,
it.
seriously, keep him in
I
NXT
was
forever.
Curious to see how he was going to act and like perform as a heel, and he's killing it.
No, he's great.
He's doing so much better than I thought.
He's actually no. I've always said he's better as a heel. That whole babyface run was awesome, but I was like, when he turns heel, y'all better be ready.
He's
Watching him on cable access in Cleveland, I knew it was coming. Okay.
Well, I mean, if there are lines that really stood out for anybody else, I'm always open to that.
Also, give Indy Hartwell an outlet. So
I will say this: Nicole said that for her it was the year of Orton, because you think about what Orton has done this year. Between
the Edge storyline,
the Drew McIntyre storyline, him with the Fiend. Randy Orton is having his best year of his career right now.
There's nothing you can say about Randy Orton that already hasn't been said. Which is wild. He's having the best year of his career because how long has it been? 17 years or
18 years.
18 years. He's been one of the best wrestlers in WWE. Probably about 15 for that.
He's doing, like I said, he's doing some of his best work.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very often that I can say a guy who's 40 who has his.
I bet he's drinking a 40.
I mean, he's just absolutely killing it. He's got 14 world title reigns. Randy Orton's having his best year. That's why I had to put him in for a nomination for one of the other awards. But Nicole wanted me to bring that up, and I asked her too. I said, why do you have Orton in there? She said, look at what Orton has done. She's like, he's killed it this entire storyline with Edge. I mean, yes, they had the long-winded match at WrestleMania.
Holy shit, I hated that.
And I was
I thought the match was fine.
I thought the match was fine. Okay. When they did the Chris Benoit hanging spot on the weights, I was like, okay, let's not do that. Especially like the week after the Chris Benoit Dark Side of the Ring came out.
Poorly timed.
It was not timed well at all.
Which is funny that you bring up Dark Side of the Ring because they actually got nominated too.
Awesome
for something. I thought that was a good idea that she pitched that to me. What else?
Shots of Malort for the Markies. There you go.
That's
yes, don't eat brown snow. Yes. You, our friend Pat, we'll definitely be doing.
Malort fucking sucks. I'll never touch
too.
that thing ever.
Come on.
Sarah Spain also does Malort.
She does Malort?
She had a picture of it on her Instagram.
I'm fucking disgusted.
I'm like, that is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
If we had Malort here, I would drink some in honor of Don't Eat Brown Snow and our good friend Pat, who made turducken, which was the greatest Thanksgiving meal I've ever had. I made fun of him. I think we all made fun of him about turducken, and then when that shit hit our plate,
we're just like,
yeah, dude.
I was immediately food coma. It was fucking amazing.
And I had that with Malort that day.
You did. We all did. That was the first time we all tried Malort.
Yep.
So good. So good.
I think we got to do turducken one of these Thanksgivings.
I'm all for that.
I'm all about it.
I was telling Afi about turducken. She was like, what is that? I'm like, it's turkey.
Is Afi going to eat that? Yeah, okay.
I think she would.
All right.
Basically, with her diet, she can eat birds.
She can eat birds.
So we got it. So, I was gonna make a joke about the eagles and shit like that, but
fly eagles fly. Oh wait, they're not flying. Carson Wentz.
So
now 9 may have beat 12.
Jalen Bums.
Yeah.
He's accepted that, by the way. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Hurts is gonna be the quarterback for the Eagles.
Carson Wentz is an awful lot like another Carson in the NFL. High on talent, low on leadership. Carson Palmer.
I liked Carson Palmer though.
Yes, again, high on talent, low on leadership. He was on the Bungles, and then he was on the Cardinals
and the Raiders. He had that period of time he was on the Raiders. The only people who remember that are like dumbasses like me and Raider fans. So anyway, storyline of the year. What stood out for you? Storyline of the year.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going with Heyman and Roman.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, go ahead.
And the thing with this specifically is it was the turn in the trajectory of Roman Reigns. So many wrestling fans were like, he's getting shoved down our throat. We don't like this.
For years, we've been screaming about that.
Yep.
And Roman turning heel and having Paul Heyman with him has been pitch perfect since it started.
I will say this. You and I talked about it for years. Like Roman Reigns would be so much better as a heel than as a face. Because people would, I think, he's doing his best work right now, too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's incredible, like here in 2020, how many people are doing their best work between Randy
Orton
and Roman Reigns. I mean,
Johnny Gargano.
And Johnny Gargano's doing his best work right now. I mean,
Cody Rhodes has done a lot of really good work. Jericho, character-wise, has done a lot of great work. His matches aren't what they used to be, but he has done a lot of good work.
For a guy who's been in the wrestling industry for 30 years, who's at 50 years of age, who's put a lot of time in his body, whether it's through professional wrestling or touring as a rock star, I would still say that he's better than 95% of the people in the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Chris Jericho is in the top 3 in PWI's Wrestlers of the Year this year at 50.
The GOAT.
Chris Jericho.
Oh.
Who had a monster match against freaking, I mean, he made Orange Cassidy look like a fucking, I mean, Orange Cassidy is actually a better wrestler than people give him credit for.
Yeah. Roman Reigns, I think you guys hit the nail on the head with that. I begged for years. This guy needs to be a heel. This guy needs to be a heel. No one fucking likes him. Everyone boos him when he comes to the fucking ring. And every time I hear Durner. Every time that hit, it would just boo. Instant. Even it wouldn't even have to be Durner, but it would be Durner, and then just boo.
My favorite is watching Jeff in this because he's just sitting there like this. He's just like a polarizing figure.
I mean, yeah, I'm a big dude. If I sit up straight,
don't let him fool you, everybody. He's a big cuddly teddy bear.
That's what she said.
Thank you, sir.
For me, like storyline of the year, I'd love to give it to the whole, you know.
Well, and one thing with this is like, I loved, and it wasn't on our list, but I loved the Edge and Randy Orton storyline.
Yeah.
If they would have been able to complete that story at SummerSlam,
Before instead of Edge getting hurt,
The Summerfest.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Jeremy Pivens.
Yeah.
But that was such a good storyline. It's like it started at the Royal Rumble, and the way that they weaved like Beth Phoenix into it, the way they weaved like Edge's kids into it. Like, I thought the WrestleMania match was good. It just went a little bit long.
Agreed.
The best wrestling match ever was not the best wrestling match ever, but it was a very good match. And I wish they could have finished off the storyline. We will get the finish of that storyline at some point. It just didn't happen in this year, and that's why I think it does not quite get storyline of the year. Roman has been so good as a fucking dick heel, as a tribal chief.
I love it.
It's so good.
Like that. When I see the SmackDown highlights, that's what I want to see. I want to see Roman fucking Reigns being a dick because he's such a good dick.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I would have loved to have given Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman my storyline of the year. I really would have. But I was trying to do this without trying to give Roman Reigns as much love because his character's only been doing this for about 4 months now. And it's like, this is the end of the year's program, but I was like, I can't not have Roman Reigns in categories. Literally, I can't have Roman Reigns in categories. I have to have him in at least one category.
Well, honestly, from this category, we probably need to go to the other one that he's going to win.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still want to do the worst. Then I want to induct somebody. Then we'll go into into a bunch of others. By the way, I was trying to get 17 categories just to be an ass, and then Nicole was like, "You can't have 17."
That would be very interesting, Chris Brown. Beth and Edge versus The Fiend and Alexa.
I've been hearing a lot of that too. Really, and they The Fiend and Alexa Bliss get my storyline of the year. And it's nothing against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is fucking absolutely killing it right now. He is the biggest heel in all professional wrestling, and he is doing his absolute best work. He is absolutely just killing it, and I knew this was going to happen once he turned heel. The reason I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss and The Fiend is that I am intrigued by this, because at any point during all this, if you know like Alexa Bliss's background and everything, you are actually surprised by the fact that she's doing what she's doing right now. She really is like this sweetheart, very, to herself type of a person and everything like that. But her character is very good in this role, and she's absolutely killing it. And the fact that, The Fiend is still The Fiend. I don't care what the fuck Randy Orton did to him last Sunday. The Fiend is still The Fiend.
I think that was part of the thing with having the Firefly Funhouse Inferno match is like neither of them get pinned.
Right.
So if somebody loses, it's not.
And somebody else brought up a really good point. They said losing to Randy Orton doesn't mean you got buried. You lost to fucking Randy Orton.
Yeah, it's Randy Orton.
Right.
There's nobody really else in wrestling that you can say that about. I mean, Randy Orton's been doing this, like you said, for so many years.
Undertaker.
I mean, The Undertaker, yeah. I mean, well, no, you could actually still get buried by The Undertaker. Just
somebody did get buried,
literally
by The Undertaker.
All right, so for the worst storyline of the years,
this was a very difficult category for me.
So for worst storyline of the year, I nominated Retribution. That's all I have to say. The Men's Money in the Bank briefcase. That was just an absolute shit bomb of a story. The Jeff Hardy DUI storyline. And it's funny, too, because all these storylines are WWE eccentric. Like, all the good storylines, a lot of these categories, I was able to, put in New Japan. I was able to put in AEW. I was able to put in people like the Impact and all this stuff. But for storyline of the year, it's amazing that how all 4 nominations were all from WWE.
It's not really that amazing. I mean, it's WWE.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what I said.
The worst.
So for worst storyline of the year, I did say Retribution, the Men's Money in the Bank briefcase, Hardy's DUI, and this should win it. The Lana, Rusev, Lashley, Liv shit show.
Was that this year?
I mean, and that ended up feeding into the current Lana storyline where she gets driven through tables every week by Nia, and then they build this storyline. Oh, great! We're going to have this match, a tag team match with her and Asuka versus the women's tag team champions. Oh, by the way, Charlotte's coming back, so we're going to just ignore everything we've been doing for the last 2 months.
Well,
I fucking hate Vince McMahon.
I hate it. Yeah, it's so dumb.
And the sad part is with the category that was called shitbag, and guys like Joey Ryan and the Velveteen Dream are not going to win that fucking category because, like I said, nobody took more L's in 2020 than Vince and Kennedy and McMahon.
Not in his bank account.
Not in his bank.
Not his bank account. He had the best year of his fucking life.
But
Bitch.
I
lay off all his fucking wrestling.
as good as as bad as the Retribution and all those other storylines were for me. I think there's one storyline that could unanimously win this thing because it was just so terrible that it's the only, for me it's the only answer. That's the Lana, Rusev, Bobby Lashley. I mean, the fact that Liv Morgan was like a lesbian for like 3 weeks, and then she came back to being straight, and now she's with Ruby Riott again.
Did she have a Subaru?
She might have.
Fuck you.
But like, Rusev's now Miro on freaking AEW. Lana's eating fucking tables like every other week, and the only one that's coming out smelling like a rose is Bobby Lashley. Is Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business, which is doing great things, and they're going to win quite a few awards today. But for me, I go with that shit show of a fucking story.
Yeah.
And that was unanimous for all the fans, too, who voted in.
Really interesting. I'm going to disagree with everybody. Retribution. My fucking God. They built this shit for months and months and months. And they finally fucking debut. And the first, like, the guy's name is Slapjack, which you go on Urban Dictionary and you find out what slapjack actually means in Urban Dictionary. I'm surprised that was a change.
Slapjack is the act where a dude's having sex with a woman or jerking off with a woman and takes the sponge and then slaps her in the face. That's a slapjack. T-Bar isn't much better, though.
Yeah.
Ricochet.
Yeah, so they do this whole fucking storyline. They put Mustafa Ali in it, and then like randomly in the middle of it, they're like, and Ali's like, yeah, remember the hacker? That was me. It's like, yeah, we knew it was fucking you idiot. And then they just fizzle out. And all of a sudden, like 2 weeks into it, they start getting beat. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You're beating them already. And then
crying out loud.
They're supposed to be these badass like Antifa anarchists.
Reckoning, also known as Mia Yim, was wrestling on main event against fucking Nikki Cross. It's fucking terrible. The Retribution storyline is like the New York Jets of this. No,
it's so funny.
The funny thing is, Nicole, he's not laughing over Retribution. It's because of the fact that we said slapjack. Slapjack.
Ow, it fucking hit the wall.
The next time I go to there's a place in Newport News called Angelo's Steakhouse. And the next time I go there, I'm not going to order flapjack. I'm going to order slapjack. I'm going to order slapjacks. Excuse me, sir. I don't think I can give you that here.
Put a bunch of butter all over them. Turn it yourself if you can.
My favorite part too was the first match that Slapjack had when he fought Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title, where he was like, "I'll fight any member of Retribution for the U.S. title." And here comes Slapjack, and he comes out to the ring, and he's got like this swagger to him. And I'm like, "Look at Shane Thorne. Look at how out of shape Shane Thorne is. And look at how fucking terrible this is." And I'm like, and the worst part is we know Bobby Lashley's gonna bury the shit out of fucking Slapjack because A, they're trying to do something with Bobby Lashley and build him towards anything. And number two, he's fighting a guy named fucking Slapjack.
He's gonna go against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 38.
But he has to get through Slapjack first. And like the whole thing with Mustafa Ali, I really wanted to give that the thing, but like that whole storyline with Lana, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, and fucking Liv Morgan was just so.
See, like awful. This year has been so fucking long that I didn't even remember this happened this year. I thought Miro's been in AEW for at least a year.
He got released in April with all the other companies.
Oh, that's right.
Him and F. Marshall, Curtis Axel, and Drake Maverick, who was actually able to keep his job and all that stuff. So
yeah,
you okay? Some time? I say
my worst storyline of the year, and this is just because I believe this was my brainless 2 weeks. I'm going with the Hardy DUI story. The matches between he and Sheamus were really good. I loved the
Shamus.
What the fuck was it? The Dublin street fight, which was like they basically fought in a fucking pub. I fucking loved that. But like as far as storyline wise, like no. Don't sit there and bring the fact that Jeff Hardy had issues with alcohol, drugs, and all that shit into his storyline. I know Jeff Hardy obviously gave the okay to these things, but fuck that. That's fucking stupid. And Sheamus, that look you have for
your entrance,
wear it to the fucking ring. Keep that look the whole time.
Agreed. Although with that look, you can't really go, "It's a shameful thing. Lobster head, a shameful man who can wind up dead." Too many limes. Too many limes.
Oh,
I need that Sheamus back. That is the greatest wrestler of all time.
And the greatest song.
Right.
Lobster.
But yeah, it's actually good. I really want to give it to them, but like that whole, like I still scratch my head over how fucking retarded that whole storyline is. But I think we should now now let's induct a Hall of Fame.
All right.
We're in deductions now. Okay.
I'm gonna mix them in. I don't want to do like
Okay. We're gonna do it again.
Breaks.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So our first inductee hopefully is listening right now and is chiming in and has also gotten himself a Hall of Fame induction speech. But the effort marks when we decided to do this Hall of Fame, we were actually kind of trying to do it as like a spite thing towards WWE, where we were going to put in people that WWE for whatever reason
Have
refused.
fucked over.
You know, guys like Rick Martel, who should be in the Hall of Fame for both. Guys like Vader, who should be in the WWE Hall of Fame, but we put him in the Demolition, the Midnight Express, King Kong Bundy, to say a few. And this year, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit differently. Yes, I wanted to put in a follower who was supposed to be getting a Markie Award, but I decided to take that out this year and just, hey, the Hall of Fame induction is more important than a Markie Award.
Yeah.
Coming from this guy, and I know what that means for me. And also a contributor, because at the end of the day, it isn't just Jay and I who each and every week come in here and contribute. It's people like El Jefe here who comes in and fills in for Jay or Jeff or Jay or I. I said Jay or Jeff. What the hell is wrong with me? I gotta stop drinking. You need another 40? No, I'm gonna finish that still. I'm fucking way behind. I know. But like people like Jeff who have come in and contributed, whether it's coming in and filling in for myself or filling in for Jay, or coming in and adding a nice element to the show as a third person. Jeff, you have been a very integral part of this podcast since day one as age, and we couldn't have done it without you. That's why you're already in the Hall of Fame. Thank you, because you were well deserving of a Hall of Fame.
Was that last year I got in?
Yes, it was
last year. Yes.
Yeah. We put in 2019.
We put in like Sean O, who was an OG. He was the original Hall of Fame inductee,
future press secretary of the United States.
When we go Brainless 2024. Curtis Axel, Billy D. Williams with the 40s and all that stuff. So this person who we are inducting this year is well deserving of this Hall of Fame induction. This person has definitely contributed in a very strong way. We get a lot of hits on our Facebook page because of him. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of stuff that even he posts that I'm like, all right, this is actually some funny shit. So for me,
such good shit.
Chris Brown is a well-deserving member of the 2020 Hall of Fame class. Jay, is there anything else you'd like to add towards Chris Brown's induction into our Hall of Fame?
Chris has been a strong contributor to the show, whether it's been just chiming in during our live feeds or doing the stuff on Facebook. He's really gone above and beyond. Really appreciate his knowledge and all the things that he's done for the show. So, Chris Brown, thank you so much for all you've done. You are now in the F and Marks Hall of Fame.
Yeah, thanks, man. So he's always commenting on all the shows and comments a lot.
Yeah! Speech!
It was a speech, man. I know you just commented 5 minutes ago, buddy.
Yeah. One Hall of Famer calling out another one. I love it.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, well said. I love it.
Yeah.
Very good, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for everything you've done.
Yeah.
This is well deserving of a Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next categories. I say
wettest hair.
I'm just about to go there.
Turner.
So this is a very.
There are a couple of different nominees for this category.
Thank you again, Chris.
And when it comes to wettest hair, it really is very tough to get to the top of the mountain to be the tribal chief of.
Without being the greasiest person who ever lived.
Baron Corbin a couple of years ago
When he
tried to ascend to the top of the mountain.
He did.
And
His was good. His was good because he had like the bulb grease.
Yeah. He was having the start of a skullet, and he almost got there.
It was close.
But he
shaved his head
he
before
he was second. He was second that year.
We should have given him it.
But for the 5th year in a row,
An astonishing 5 years in a row, unanimously, for the 5th year in a row, the Wettest Hair Award goes to, drum roll please. Oh my God, it's Roman Reigns. Durner.
and specifically for me, this award goes to the tribal chief.
The tribal chief.
It doesn't go to Roman Reigns at the beginning of the year.
The head of the table.
This is the head of the table, the tribal chief. Roman Reigns wins the wettest hair of the year.
I mean, it's
just honestly the most well-deserved award he's ever won.
I am curious though, why does somebody put Jesse Varner as a nominee for wettest hair?
He doesn't have any.
What? Wait.
When
did that happen?
I was kidding.
Ever since the first time he took his hat off
Nobody
in front of me.
Nobody voted for Jesse Varner.
Hi, Jesse.
Wait.
There's no way he's watching. I think he's at work.
Chris, it's just, and we came up with this because a few years ago they had this remake of the Roman Reigns song where a guy would like chime in with the Roman Reigns. He has the wettest hair. And ever since we did that song, we've been giving Roman Reigns the wettest hair award. That's the only reason it's on there. I make it my point to make sure that Roman Reigns wins the Markie Award every single year
for the wettest hair.
For wettest hair. So that's the only reason it's on there. So, and that's why I put him as the only, people. And I told Nicole, I was like, it'd be funny if you wrote in Elias, just to switch things up a little bit.
Right.
He's heard it too. So yeah, congratulations, Roman Reigns. You are the only person in the history of professional wrestling to win a Markie Award 5 years in a row. So he is a five-time Markie Award winner, Roman Reigns.
Yes.
All right, so the next category we have up, I am going to go with, let's go with Rivalry of the Year. So this year saw its fair share of some really good rivalries. I'm a little disappointed I did not put Orton and Edge because of the fact that Orton and Edge never really had their final, blow off of that whole thing. For me, there's a few that really stood out. Down in NXT, Pat McAfee and Adam Cole, baby, got a nomination for Rivalry of the Year because they've been killing it. This whole thing has been great since McAfee has been making appearances on NXT. Adam Cole showing up on his podcast, and McAfee throwing insults at him, which culminated in them having a great War Games match where we saw Pat McAfee do a flip off the top of the cage, and it was pretty cool. Also for me, I would say Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy from NXT, from AEW, just because Chris Jericho is the king of turning something out of nothing. And I'm not saying that Orange Cassidy is nothing, but Orange Cassidy is now a much bigger deal in AEW because of the fact that his rivalry with Jericho just catapulted him into a class that was actually pretty impressive. Also, I'm going with New Japan with Evil and Naito, which led to Naito and Evil actually fighting for the Intercontinental and IWGP World Heavyweight Championships. Evil's been actually doing some really good work over in New Japan. Obviously, we all know what we get out of Naito. Nato's one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time. I would say
he has the greatest orange hair ever.
Yes. He's not Okada, he's not Nakamura, and he's not Antonio Inoki.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
I mean, or I'm sorry.
The great Antonio, too.
I was going to say the great Muda.
The great Muda too. Great Antonio. I always say, if you want to watch a shoot fight within professional wrestling, watch Antonio Inoki versus the Great Antonio. Inoki gets a little pissed off at the Great Antonio about halfway through the match and beats the fuck out of him.
I was telling everybody, if you want to watch a shoot fight, just watch the mass transit.
Mass transit.
The mass transit attempted murder.
Where New Jack, that was one of. It was probably the.
I think the
first
last
stuff
time I was
about-
on a show, I was talking about New Jack.
It was
Yeah.
probably one of 20 times New Jack tried to murder his opponent.
It was the most famous time.
Yeah.
Infamous.
Gypsy Joe might actually be his most infamous, though.
When he stabbed him like
17 times.
Yeah.
But,
So anyway,
so for
right,
what the hell was this?
rivalry of the year.
And then lastly, and I think probably the heavy favorite to win this category, Vince McMahon versus Creative. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go back and look at some of the posts that Chris Brown has been posting. And it's sad too because like I could actually see it happening where Vince has these types of conversations with Creative. But the fact is that Creative wants to do one thing and Vince McMahon wants to be a stupid fuck. So it just doesn't work out.
It's such good shit.
But for me, Vince McMahon versus Creative wins my rivalry of the year.
I'm going with Jericho and Orange Cassidy. As much as there were other storylines out there that really captivated me, whether it was the Alexa Fiend storyline or the Roman storyline or the Orton and Edge storyline, Jericho and Orange Cassidy, in my view, helped bring Orange Cassidy to a different level. And this storyline lasted 3 months. I mean, 1/4 of this year was dedicated to that. And because of how long it lasted, and they actually had a payoff for it. It kind of sucks what's been going on with Cassidy lately, but I think it's just a kind of bump in the road.
He's not lost in the shuffle by any means.
Before he ends up jumping up the ranks.
Oh, he's going to win the title. There's no fucking way that they don't put the title on him at some point.
And on top of that, though, one of the late in the year storylines that I've really enjoyed, it feeds into best rivalry of the year ideas with Omega and Kenny, or Omega with Hangman Page, is like this now storyline with Don Callis, which rhymes with Gallus, which rhymes with Dallas. Going to Impact Wrestling and all the things that this means, like as great as that is, I loved the Jericho and Orange Cassidy storyline. So that, for me, is the storyline of the year.
And I really did want to pick Cassidy and Jericho because when I put it, I was like, I want to give it to them. And then I thought of Vince McMahon versus Creative because, you know, WWE could be so much better if Vince McMahon just fucking
died.
I wasn't going to say it, Jeff, but you spoke it into existence.
I mean, he said it many times on the show.
I mean, how many times have I wished COVID on Vince McMahon since this whole fucking
I'm sure he's had it.
That's such good shit.
He's friends with the president after all.
Right. He got it from Pence.
Wrong. You never got it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Vince McMahon versus Creative. That should be the award winner every year, right? I mean, like,
It should be like
WWE
Roman
hits-
Reigns in the wettest hair.
Yeah, for real. Like, WWE hits on like 2 storylines every year max. Like main roster WWE.
Well, like main roster WWE, like the reason why they hit on the Orton and Edge story is because Orton and Edge basically wrote their story.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't
Yeah,
creative. It wasn't.
And they hit on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is fucking awesome. So, I mean, it's usually never Creative that gets these people over. They get themselves over, despite their fucking attempts to not get people over. So, I mean, Vince McMahon versus Creative should win this award every single year for the rest of time until he dies.
Yeah. And somebody ironically posted a little earlier that Vince has been not as healthy lately.
No, he's like 80 years old.
Right.
He's 75, right?
70s.
He's definitely
He's 75.
but they're saying that Vince is not as doing
How old is
very
Vince
well.
McMahon?
Spry. He's not
So.
spry as he used to be.
Yeah.
It's not as witty.
Vince McMahon is 75 years of age.
So I mean, his mom's 100.
Yeah, his mom's still alive.
Good
For in the 2015 Royal Rumble.
probably. But I don't wish death on people, but I wish less influence on people. I'm going to say, Vince McMahon, please give it up.
It's no longer such good shit, pal, when you're in charge.
I
Yeah.
don't have any drinks left.
Anyway,
I'm the only asshole still has beer.
Yeah.
That's what
I mean, I could get you a beverage.
I'm good, dude.
All right.
I got places to be after this.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of which, what is the catchphrase of the year?
wait.
Yeah!
I like it, Jay. Catchphrase of the year. So for me, the catchphrases that stick out the most are "Ding Dong Hello" from Bailey, and I got reprimanded because of the fact that Bailey has more than one nomination for our Markie Awards. Because somebody in my house, who shall remain nameless, is not a fan of Bailey.
Wow.
Right.
I'm not a fan of Bailey either. She's just a fucking dirt face, dumb retard. But
Right.
she gets
But
Ding
she
Dong
was-
Hello.
She had the
for
best
catchphrase
reign
the
of.
year. Pat McAfee, for the first time ever, gets a nomination for a Markie Award. I never thought those words would ever come out of my mouth.
Mhm.
Although another former football player is also nominated this year. For the brand, gets a nomination for catchphrase of the year. I don't know who gets this one. I mean, you could either go John Moxley, you could go Bray Wyatt, or you could go Vince McMahon himself. But that's such good shit, pal. Got nominated for a Markie Award this year. And the last one, and the heavy favorite, the very, very heavy favorite, like 1-9 in a horse race heavy favorite, Alabama playing Notre Dame in the first round of the college football playoff heavy favorite. Yeah!
It's yeah!
Yeah!
And, our friend Nick, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
We definitely exaggerate when we do it.
Times like
300.
Oh, bullshit. I'm calling shenanigans on
Bullshit.
both of
No,
you.
this is your fault.
How's it my fault?
Because you this is how you do it. You started it. You started it. You ever noticed? You was like, yeah, you never noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, no, but now that you said it, now we're just gonna do it all the fucking time.
First of all,
That's literally how we greet each other now.
yeah.
Yeah. Like versus
Yeah.
we don't even say hello. We say yeah.
Yeah.
at 9:01 every morning. We're at work. You know what happens?
I walk by his office and I go, yeah.
And the people who have no idea join in.
It's a thing at work now.
I've told them about.
Yeah.
I've told them the story of it, but
Oh. Yeah. I think it's funny because, like, at home, like, randomly, I'll just go, yeah. Like, Kinsey will say something, I'll go, yeah. And then Nicole will go, yeah. And Kinsey's like, yeah. And it's so funny because she's 5, so she doesn't get it. But it's funny as shit because she knows how to do it. I mean, we got options.
I got people in the newsroom doing it now.
Wait until,
Yeah.
Wait until your birthday /
Oh
New Year's Eve.
my god.
I will make sure that is going to be flying out of her mouth a lot that night.
The girl I'm seeing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, she's gonna.
All I'm gonna
She's
say
either
is,
gonna like really hate me, or she's gonna, or this is like
Hey,
she's
gonna buy in.
Hey, so
Yeah.
far, hey, we're 2 for 2 so far,
Yeah.
Jeff. Nicole is 100% on board with it. So
Obvious.
is
Okay.
Afi loves it.
So we'll see if Alex is on board with it too.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this: if you guys want to know how bad it is with me, I had my site manager at my job tell me that I am an HR nightmare because between
I mean, you probably say other words.
Oh,
shit.
I told you about the lady who was on the audit team that looked like Dusty Rhodes, and that just grew legs, and And like one of the guys at work was just like, "Hey, did you hear the one about Dawn from the on the team? Like, what about Dawn from the other team? Like, she looks like the American Dream." And I was like, "How the fuck did this get out?" He goes, "My man." He's like, "My man Corey. Like, he's a funny fucking dude because he said that." I'm like, "I came up with that." And he's like, "Oh my god, that was the funniest shit." Like, I've been oh man. In 37 years that I've been on this planet, I have come to the realization if I ever want to get anything over, I have to tell one of two people. My co-host here, and Corey, Big C, who should be getting a nomination.
I'm getting over.
Yeah, you got over.
I'm getting over in the fucking
If it
newsroom.
wasn't for Corey, I wouldn't have gotten Dusty.
I got
Your department. I got Twisty to do it. Twisty's kind of the one. Yeah.
You got to. If I ever want anything at work to get over, I have to give Corey. I have to give Corey a little bit of the rub here today, and I'm in negotiations with him about possibly being a headliner for the Hall of Fame next year. But him and I are the fucking HR nightmares in that fucking place.
Hit that cowbell. She's just a common girl.
With his hands. He's just a common man, working hard for a man. Hey, he's a American dream.
On the audit team. She no longer works for us. R.I.P. She's not dead, but she doesn't work there anymore.
Sad.
So congratulations to Nick for winning your first ever Markie Award.
So we gotta get him a trophy so he can bring the first game.
I want to find a trophy.
We gotta give him we should give him a plastic belt for him.
Stop.
Honestly, God, we should do plastic belts for big plays.
Yeah?
Or a turnover change or something, but we don't do turnovers. Kickball. It's like kickball.
Shit.
By the way, I have floorball. You want to play floorball with me?
Floorball?
It's like hockey, except on the floor.
I'm not doing that.
It's like floor hockey.
It's almost like street hockey then.
Yeah, but it's like floor hockey, except there's a wiffle ball.
Maybe.
Okay, so we did wettest hair and catchphrase. So I think the next one up is a very interesting one. I'm going to go with the standout star of the year.
All right.
It's a very interesting category because there was a lot of people who really stood out for me who have developed as characters and as professional wrestlers. For me, the one wrestler that really stood out for standout star of the year is Jey Uso.
The Uso?
Everybody knows about how good the Usos are as a tag team. In my opinion, and I know a lot of people agree with me on this one, the Usos are the best tag team in the last decade. They are tremendous in ring performers. They're very good on the microphone. I just like them a lot. And Jey Uso has really been killing it for this as somebody who has been known as a tag team wrestler, so he deserves a nomination for Breakout Star of the Year, or Standout Star, whatever you want to call it. Another guy, Orange Cassidy, who's kind of been known as the guy. If you go back and watch this podcast from 2019 and how I used to shit on a guy called Orange Cassidy because he used to wrestle with his hands in his pockets, you would understand why he deserves Breakout Star this year. Him and Pac had a great match earlier.
You shit on him? You went to ask him for Halloween 2019.
Yeah?
Yeah?
And it was because I was a fan. It was because it was funny as shit.
See?
Yeah.
And I also have the greatest picture ever of me as Orange Cassidy with the GOAT himself, Andy Fox.
That's true.
Dressed like a Mexican.
A Mexican?
Mexican.
Close enough, I guess.
Inside joke from my friends in Connecticut. But anyway, Orange Cassidy does get a nomination for Breakout Star of the Year because this has been his best year in professional wrestling. Another person who deserves a nomination is Keith Lee. Keith Lee did win both the NXT UK and NXT World Championships down in NXT.
North American, not UK.
And yes, what did I say?
UK.
You said UK.
He did not beat Walter.
You're right. No, nobody's beating Walter.
Walter.
That was terrible. But Keith Lee made it to the main roster and beat Randy Orton clean in his first pay-per-view.
Yeah?
He looked really good, and Keith Lee has a chance as long as Vince doesn't fuck him up, but we all know how that's going to go. And another one is from NXT, a guy that I am a huge fan of, who definitely exemplifies what a breakout star is, Dexter Lumis.
Yeah.
Tell me he
Him and
doesn't
his
look,
porn stash.
tell me he doesn't look like a polarizing figure. Tell me he's not killing it in NXT.
We'll throw an audible into this.
You can throw whatever you want into this, Jeff.
Before his injury, Karrion Kross.
I was going to put
Yeah.
Karrion Kross
Yeah.
in there, but because of the fact that he got hurt is the reason why.
And
I
you
didn't
could add
put-
Scarlett Bordeaux into that too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, cool fucking characters.
Yeah.
Sucks what happened to his shoulder. It sucks that Scarlett has to be off TV for him too. But
I mean, they showed up again like a
Yes.
week ago.
yeah, so yeah, you're gonna be back, and maybe they'll win the award outright next year. But to me,
I mean, hell, Karrion Kross can win Wrestler of the Year next year.
I believe that
He's got the capabilities to do it. He's
He's
that
fucking
talented.
awesome.
He's a fucking stud.
he's fucking
And you
awesome.
know me, it's not just WWE and AEW eccentric. I put everybody out there. I show the love to everybody. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
But that is a very good one for me. As much as I want to give it to Jey Uso, because Jey Uso was absolutely fucking killing it with Roman Reigns, I'm going with Dexter Lumis.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the dude just oozes it. He's killing it, and he's kind of adapted that whole Dexter from the show Dexter persona, and it's really good for him. And I'm going with
Dexter's
Dexter.
laboratory.
So our
Didi, get out of my laboratory.
right.
One of the greatest shows ever.
I'm sorry. I'm going with Orange Cassidy. The GOAT.
Ew.
You know who should sing this? Stop.
Get those.
All right, Orange Cassidy for me.
And our next one, before we go into our next Hall of Fame induction, we are going to have the Faction of the Year. And our nominees are the Inner Circle, which was led by Le Champion,
The GOAT.
Le GOAT himself, and should be an F and Marks Hall of Famer, by the way, and I have not put him in yet for whatever reason.
We
Have not put in Chris Jericho yet.
Lay off the weed.
So the Inner Circle, Imperium, they did.
Oh my god, I love
They did win the
Imperium.
NXT Tag Team titles.
I love Imperium.
Walter has been champion for the last since basically some point in 2019. He's fucking killing it. He's the best wrestler on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. The Hurt Business, who has been doing great things since MVP returned and
Mhm.
became the leader of Hurt Business.
Great stuff.
And Retribution,
What's Retribution on that list?
because I think the factions.
Oh. Not the Johnny Gargano family?
They just started that whole thing. I didn't.
I would have put them in there over fucking
Well, they say you
Retribution.
to put them on there. Say, hey, they win it. Just give it to them, Jeff.
No,
Come on.
they're not winning
This is
it.
another chance for Slapjack to.
If Retribution, first of all, Retribution does not deserve this fucking. No,
No,
No.
fuck Retribution.
no, Retribution. I just
Retribution
put it on-
fucking sucks.
I put it on there for fucking comedic purposes, and that's it. There's no other reason why Retribution is on my list.
I mean, it has to be the Hurt Business, right? I think about it. I mean, they're the only main roster act getting themselves over, like, as a group. It's fucking awesome. MVP's the GOAT.
I mean, the McAfee faction's great. UE's great, but like,
I mean,
I agree. Hurt Business.
Hurt Business.
Before the Hurt Business, the four members
Were
were
doing shit.
wallowing.
They weren't doing shit. Yeah.
And now we have three champions, and then we have MVP who's still balling.
And he just won a
wow,
jiu-jitsu championship.
Yeah.
So he's fucking gone.
wow. For the first time ever on this podcast, if we exclude the wettest hair, we have a unanimous Markie Award winner, and that is for Faction of the Year, the Hurt Business. Because not only is Bobby Lashley United States champion and is killing it on freaking UFC and
Bellator.
I apologize. And the fact that both Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander are the new Raw Tag Team champions.
Cedric Alexander. Excuse me. Well, I'll get to Cedric Alexander in a second. Shelton Benjamin, age, what, 44? 43?
46, I believe.
46, tag team champion right now, doing some of his best
I
work.
fucking love Shelton Benjamin. He is one
Cedric
of
Alexander was fucking wallowing, and it sucked because we know how good he is.
The greatest super kick ever was he and Shawn Michaels in a match that was a qualifier for
the money, the King of the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin, I fucking love Shelton Benjamin. He's one of my all-time personal favorites. I just love the Duke of Work and all that stuff. Cedric Alexander was a couple years ago, he's only a few years removed from being my breakout star of the possible for the next year, and I predicted that in the show for this exact show. And, you know, the fact that they added him to that was a nice compliment, and he's done great things with the Hurt Business. And most importantly, I can't stress this enough, MVP is God. I fucking love MVP. So, I mean, this is well-deserved of the Hurt Business. Congratulations. And I am so happy that I can give MVP a Markie Award. Like the semi-chub in my drawers right now is just kind of, I'm kidding.
It's because you're coming like him?
I'm coming! All right. So for our next induction into the Hall of Fame, we thought a little bit outside the box on this one. This one is a well-deserving one because
yes.
We decided that the first year was kind of like we're going to stick it to Vince McMahon. The second one was we're going to kind of stick it to Vince McMahon, but add the people who have benefited and helped us on this podcast as best as they could.
Get me.
And that would be you, El Jefe. And I have another announcement in regards to you at the end of the show.
Shocking.
And
Shocking
so this year, Jay and I wanted to think a little bit outside the box, so that's why we did what we did. And we decided that we're going to be a little bit more mindful of the podcast. And we're going to induct something that has everything to do with the podcast. And other than our Hampton Roads Championship Wrestling experience, because I will refuse to put anything with Hampton Roads Championship Wrestling into our Hall of Fame. Because fuck those fucking ass clowns. But I will never, ever put the fucking pieces of shit in the Hall of Fame. No, the fuck the again. You can't get in. You have to be in to get a game. But again, this one was your decision. I 155,000% back this one. And our next inductee into the F. Marks Hall of Fame is
Clash of the Champions 13. Yes, so good. So good. I'm trying to get some Black Scorpion promos to come up here.
Bob, who this guy is, the Black Scorpion, I have no clue. No one's saying anything to me. I've seen this little bit right now. I want to see a little bit more here in a few minutes, and I want to give everybody out there the opportunity to see the same thing that I'm going to see for the first time. He is an unknown. How do I prepare for something like that? Well,
I don't know.
You just have to go for both.
Sting, baby.
If it's Ric Flair, if it's Arn Anderson, any of the other stars in the NWA, at least I have an idea on how to prepare for something like that. But this guy here, Bob, the Black Scorpion, I have no idea who he is, but I said,
woo! You won't recognize me. My face doesn't look the same. Curious. I imagine you are. Of course you are.
So good.
I want you to be thinking, be concerned, maybe even a little scared.
So between the magic show that we should not have ever gotten,
Curtis the Cat Hughes,
the fact that the big cat
showed up 10 times in the show, and your champion only showed up twice. Ric Flair only showed up a couple times.
I mean, between the awesome performance by Primetime Brian Lee and his match against the Z-Man, Michael Wall Street winning against the Blue Blazer Walmart brand.
When we had the African finals of the Pat O'Connor Memorial Tournament.
If that wasn't the exclamation
point Beast
and Kahlua versus Sergeant Kruger and
Colonel DeClerc. Which I don't know if he outranks Colonel De Beers, because I don't know if he's a full bird colonel. I don't know if he's less than that. I'm not sure.
Ironically, I think it was Johnny Grunge, or it was either Rocco Rock or Johnny Grunge from Public Enemy was actually one of those two guys in that match. But this match is, I mean, the whole card itself, because of the fact that we talked about it more than any other card in the history of wrestling, and the fact that it's probably the one card
the Freebirds and the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, the most racist
opening match.
Yeah, like I remember watching that. I felt very uncomfortable.
And they had an African American dude that was the manager of the Freebirds.
Yeah, I get that.
That was little Richard Marley.
Yeah, Little Richard Marley, which was supposed to be like a takeoff of Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Woo! I am the GOAT. I'm brainless.
Some things were just more acceptable back then.
But I will say this: the Butch Reed Ric Flair main event was actually
not too terribly bad.
And and it led to freaking WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. Being the chauffeur of Ric Flair because of that match.
Yeah.
But anyway, the match is well deserving, or the whole card is well deserving.
Do yourself a favor. If you want to laugh at professional wrestling, watch Clash of the Champions 13.
Available on the WWE Network, which I still pay for, but I haven't used in months.
Would you like it to be New Japan?
It's turning into New Japan World for me.
You're paying more for it too, $1.13 more a month.
I know. I should watch some of the Undertaker stuff on there though.
Should.
All right, so
his Blue Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah.
Next thing up, I think now would be the perfect time to do this. The Dave Meltzer Match of the Year Award.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an ironic name?
Dave Meltzer. Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Isn't it ironic?
See, look, Dave Meltzer with a Donald Trump face emoji.
Yeah, fuck you, Dave Meltzer.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. He's the most overrated piece of shit.
No, he's actually not.
He can kiss my fucking ass.
All right, well, you kiss
How
his
are
ass.
you going to put one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history as 4 3/4 stars? Oh, fuck.
Who gives a fuck? That's like Match of the Year contender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know I actually looked on his fucking list? I don't even like the fact, and that's the only reason I even put homage to him on this, is because I looked at his stupid fucking list for this year, and all these matches were either 5 stars or more. Of course, obviously, Okada fighting a fucking sheep would have gotten fucking 5 stars from Dave Meltzer. Kenny Omega fucking a sheep would have gotten 5 stars from Dave Meltzer, because all Kenny Omega has to do is wake up, and Meltzer gives him 4.5 stars. Oh my God, Dave Meltzer, yeah!
He's forgotten more about wrestling than you can ever imagine. So,
Jeff, over the years of all those years of smoking pot and drinking, I've forgotten a lot about wrestling too. So don't even give me that shit. And don't give me any lip.
No, right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Dave Meltzer, thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
I'm a loyal subscriber to the Observer.
Is it too late for me to withdraw him from the Enter Marks Hall of Fame for a comment like that? I'm asking for a friend. Anyway, nominees for the Dave Meltzer Match of the Year. From NXT UK TakeOver, Walter versus Dragunov. My God.
You are on it! You know what? You just made the list. Brace me.
From New Japan, I'm going with
any Okada match?
Okada versus Ibushi from Wrestle Kingdom. Representing AEW, actually, I have 2 AEW nominations. Adam Page and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles. And this one was for you, Cousin Jay.
Yes.
The Parking Lot Brawl from AEW, which actually got 5 stars.
Yeah.
Between the Best Friends and Pride and Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with Walter and Dragunov for Match of the Year.
I agree. It's the British strong style, and they beat the fuck out of each other. Both of them their chests were beat red. Just everything that went into this match was phenomenal. I fucking loved it.
Guys, you know how I said
Johnny Gargano.
Oh, wait.
I've said I haven't watched that much wrestling this year. I didn't see any of those matches. So I allowed to disqualify myself.
Do yourself a favor. Just watch Walter
and Dragunov.
If you watch any of those matches,
okay.
watch Walter and Dragunov.
I will disqualify myself from this. I did not see any of those.
Walter and Dragunov.
Fantastic sounding matches, by the way. Especially Dragunov.
Walter and Dragunov actually got 5 stars.
Because Dragunov sounds like Drago.
Yeah. Okada and Bushi was the highest rated match of the year.
RIP Apollo Creed. It's now been 35 years since Apollo Creed Put that.
Oh my God!
since-
I thought freaking Carl Weathers died. I can't.
No.
handle that right now.
It's
I really
35 years ago. Apollo Creed took his last walk to the. I shouldn't even say walk. His last dance to the ring.
America.
Feel good. Yeah.
We did get a vote for Undertaker versus Styles at WrestleMania.
That was a great match.
Which was a great cinematic match with it, and we also got one for the parking lot brawl.
It was a great match.
It was a great match. They were all. This was a hard category because they were all well deserving. But Walter, congratulations! You take home your Markie Award.
Yes.
You're probably going to win the other one from the Brainless one at the end of the show.
Yeah.
All right, so
spoil the Brainless one.
Maybe. I actually have an interesting one for that one.
Wait.
The worst match. The worst. I cannot believe I had so many nominations for this match. It was a lot easier than I thought.
I think there were a couple other matches that could have been added, but you did have the one that, in my view, was worst.
It was the Jean Ralphio of matches this year. And those nominees are the Swamp match between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. The Eye for an Eye match.
Oh, God.
I don't even want to go into any more detail because all I have to say. The match for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania between Goldberg and Braun Strowman, and the Tooth and Nail match between Britt Baker and Big Swole from AEW.
The fucking Eye for an Eye match was one of the most disgusting shits I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. It was fucking awful. And then, like, Rey Mysterio can still see. So fuck you.
He can see with one eye. But, yes, that is my worst match of the year. As far as, like, 80% of that match was good, but, like, even before that match started, I'm like, how can they
finish the match?
This being an absolute shit show. And they sat there and they took what I thought was going to be shit, and they made it shit.
Weird. Well,
and Seth Rollins like puking all over the place. Fucking hilarious.
I will say this, and it has never happened before this podcast if we exclude the wet as hair. But for the second time, a category on the same award show has gotten a unanimous victory. The Eye for an Eye match wins the worst match of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we have? I would say that we should do. We got that one.
Yeah.
We got that one.
Well, wait. There's Triple H Golden Shovel, worst male wrestler, worst female wrestler, the Sean O shitbag of the year, the markout moment of the year.
I wanted to say markout moment of the year is like the final category.
I'm just sitting there listing off the categories we haven't hit.
Shitbag. So we did the worst match of the year, worst tag.
Male wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year.
So this is what we're going to do. For the next ones, we're going to do a kind of like a combo thing.
Yeah.
We're going to go with the best and the worst female wrestlers of the year.
The worst!
For the best female wrestler of the year awards, I have some nominations, and I thought these were actually all really good nominations, by the way. I'm going to go with Bailey
Manning.
For
best?
Who can win? This is for best. I'm sorry, yes. Bailey Manning, who was the SmackDown Women's Champion for a good portion of 2020.
For more than a year.
She held the title for over a year.
She was also the tag team.
The tag team champions of the women's. So she definitely deserves this nomination. Also, one who's kind of been overlooked because of the fact that she hasn't done a lot of stuff outside of NWA and Lucha Underground, all that stuff. Thunder Rosa. The former NWA Women's Champion, who's been working for NWA and for AEW. So I got to give her the nomination for this. The reigning NXT UK Women's Champion, with Piper Niven on NXT UK was absolutely fantastic. Kaylee Ray has been champion for about a year now.
Yeah.
And Hikaru Shida, the reigning Hickory Dickory Dock, for female wrestler of the year.
Whatever.
So was there any nominations or anybody that? How come? First of all, I just want to know how nobody, and I mean nobody, voted for Nia Jax as best wrestler of the year.
She sucks.
The
Spoiler alert, I think we know who's winning worst female wrestler of the year. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't even come to my conclusion on that yet.
Bullshit. Anyway,
that would only be if Ava Marie had re-debuted.
okay. Of those four, I would say Bailey had the best year. Her character evolved so much as a heel. She needed that heel turn, and she did it. And she did it very well. And, she had her whole thing with Sasha Banks. It finally broke them up. Holy shit, that took fucking 4 years. But it worked out. It worked out very well. It was one of the highlights of SmackDown this year.
Yeah,
I think Bailey deserves that crown.
I agree. Bailey, it was such good shit, pal.
Yeah.
Bailey, the character evolution. There were so many times this year I predicted at pay-per-views or even sometimes on SmackDown, she's going to lose the title. She's going to lose the title. And it was so annoying that she didn't, but it worked perfectly into bitchy two belts character.
Bitchy 2 belts. Bailey 2 belts.
Yeah. She did a great job of being a fucking bitch and more or less proving what Cody Rhodes said about a year or two ago. Like, for somebody who sits there and supposed to be a hugger and all that stuff, she's kind of a bitch. She officially became that bitch on TV. Vince McMahon loved it. I loved it. It was something that Vince McMahon was actually correct about.
I enjoyed the Bailey heel turn and the whole Bailey just being a total fucking. I was going to say
she was a Karen.
Word, but I don't think I've ever actually said that word on this podcast.
She was a Karen with the Karen what? Karen got.
Nia Jax. But, I mean, she's done this was her best. Another one who has been doing their best work in 2020 goes to Bailey. But unfortunately, she doesn't get the award from me. And it's nothing personal against Bailey. Because at the end of the day, respect is due when respect is due. And Bailey has been killing it on the women's division. But I have to give love to Thunder Rosa. She is, in my opinion, the best woman in the business. Her and Charlotte would have a great match. Adding Thunder Rosa to WWE would just add so much.
Io Shirai has had a great year. Candice LeRae has had a great year.
Dakota Kai, since she turned heel, has had a great
Dakota Kai's. Oh, she's fantastic. Oh, Dakota Kai.
I'm sorry, Thunder Rosa gets it for me because she was the NWA Women's Champion. She's gone to AEW and has had some great matches over there. I think that. We're going to play Thunder stuff right now? This is my favorite song of all time.
Well, I mean, you're talking about Thunder Rosa. Yeah. All right, so Monsef is wondering what the party's about. Dude, it's the Markie Awards. It's the end of the year where we talk about the good and the terrible.
Monsef did say that Asuka had a great year.
Asuka's excellent every year.
And Chris Brown said the same thing that he actually.
Yeah, I love Asuka.
For Asuka as well. Nicole was actually on board with me naming Thunder Rosa as Women's Wrestler of the Year. All right, for my favorite category of the year, the worst female wrestler of the year. The other nominations were Billie Kay.
No.
Alicia Edwards, who definitely deserves some love.
Who the fuck's Alicia Edwards?
She's married to Eddie Edwards from Impact. She's fucking god awful. Brandy Rhodes. Yeah. But I think we all know that the answer to this one, because there is no other answer to this one, I put the other three on there. Nia Jax.
The other three don't fucking injure people at will. I'm sorry.
Nia Jax is the John Rafferty's sister of professional wrestling. Because she is the worst.
She needs to just fucking go. Don't fucking put her down in fucking developmental. It's not gonna fucking do any good. What are you gonna do? You're gonna send her down there so she can fucking hurt Dakota Kai or fucking Bianca Belair? Yeah, that's real fucking smart. You put that fucking worthless, careless, dangerous woman down there to see if you could fix her fucking problems when clearly she's been in the business long enough that she's still not getting it. She doesn't fucking get it. Drew McIntyre, when he got released, said, that was the best thing that ever happened to me because it helped me open up my mind, and I cleared up my mind, and I got better, and I knew when I came back that I was going to be a better person for this.
and that release was the best thing to happen for my career.
Oh my God.
Same thing with Jinder Mahal. They both said that. You need to deliver a fucking message. Basically, the message you're saying right now is that, well, we're not going to punish you, Nia, for the fact that you injured our hottest fucking star right now. Not like in the looks wise, hot because she was red fucking hot since SummerSlam. She had everybody talking about this fucking match. I was excited for that. Was the match that was the second match I was looking forward to the most on Sunday because of, for months I was so anticipated Nakamura versus Rollins because God, that's going to be a great match on Sunday, and I'm still hyped for that match. But you basically derailed Becky Lynch and she was fucking red hot. You're going to get your fucking title match. You didn't deserve the fucking win at the fucking Women's Evolution pay-per-view. You just didn't do it. I'm sorry. Just because I'm not a monster? Yes, you are a fucking monster. You need to go. I don't give a fuck who your fucking cousin is. I don't care if you're related to The Rock. I don't care if you're related to fucking Roman Reigns. I don't care if you're fucking related to Hulk Hogan. I don't give a fuck if you're related to fucking Randy Savage. I don't give a fuck if you're related to fucking Greg the Bunny. I don't give a shit. She's got to go. You need to fucking make an example of her to prove that this shit will not be tolerated. You're not any good. Really fucking blew my mind, and it says a lot because I'm fucking brainless. So you don't have a mind when you're brainless. Is the fact that the goddamn fat fucking bitch went out the next fucking day on social media and was like, nobody's asking me how my fucking hand is. Oh, really? Oh, your fucking hand hurts? Is it because of the fact that you fucking depleted the shit out of her with one fucking punch? You broke her fucking nose? You gave her a fucking severe concussion? If anything, it made you look worse. Because of the fact that your hand was so fucked up from what you did. You want sympathy? Fuck you! Fuck you!
So
taking her off the fucking Survivor Series team was not good enough for me. Sending her down to developmental is not good enough for me. I would have fucking fired that bitch right there on the spot. Like, oh, you hurt somebody. You've been reckless and careless and a shit.
She belongs in the hurt business.
So, does everybody know the song by Limp Bizkit? Where it's a fucked up world and a fucked up place. That was me in that fucking rant. I was trying to get the F word out as many times. It's 37 bucks.
I want a fucking car. Right.
I'm pretty sure during that entire rant was the only time on this podcast where I threw the C word out. And it was directed towards Nia Jax. Yeah, she definitely fucking deserved it. I'm sorry. She's fucking god awful. And
if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you go to the F and Marks YouTube page at the FN Marks. YouTube.com/the FN Marks.
I can guarantee you if there was one person who has actually seen that video, it's Nicole. That poor woman. She should get a Hall of Fame induction. I told her that if she works hard, she'll get one next year. Oh my God.
So Nia Jax, thank you.
It was really funny because his mouth opened up when the worst happened. So it looked like he was like,
it's okay.
Nia Jax sucks me now, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think he needs to go pee.
He probably does. All right, you guys keep the ball rolling. I'll take Pete to do his thing. This is the list.
The list.
The list of Jericho. Yeah, I know that one's still there. Yep, I got that one. That one. Yep.
I will be back in a couple minutes. Wait.
Hold on.
The Jesse Varner wait moment of the year.
Wait. Right now, what beauty has to be.
I feel like there's a category that I missed. Did I miss something?
Did you?
Oh, let me see. All right, let's see. We still have the male wrestler of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We still have the female wrestler of the year. No, we just did that.
We just one.
I'm fucking retarded.
Same.
We still have to do the burial of the year, the wrestler of the year, the Shawn shitbag of the year, the markup moment of the year.
Christ, we have like 6 more awards to do. Fuck it. I listen to me, man. We gotta go.
Yes, so do I. I was so rolling before I head up.
I mean, I've been drinking for like an hour now.
Well, I just finished.
So. I know you just fucking chugged.
I'm fucking terrible.
Fucking
bitch. Well, I say bitch. All right, so I think that, Jay's not here, but I think that we should put in the final, or not really the final, but the next nomination for the FMR's Hall of Fame.
Sure.
This person is well deserving of this award because A, he's one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling history. He's made a name for himself outside of the professional wrestling realm, making appearances on shows like the Howard Stern Show. He is a former world heavyweight champion. He main evented Madison Square Garden. And if it wasn't for him, the start of Hulkamania never would have fucking happened.
Oh!
Also,
and he has a great Twitter account.
He has a tremendous Twitter account.
And today is the anniversary of when he broke Bob Backlund's back and made him humble to become world champion. It's the fucking Iron Sheik, baby. It's Sheiky, baby.
The Iron Sheik is well deserving of an FMR's Hall of Fame induction. Just because of the fact that if you think about it, there's not a line in the history of my life as a wrestling fan, 30 plus fucking years of being a professional wrestling fan, where that sticks out more than when Bobby Heenan said at WrestleMania 17, 19 years ago, by the time the Iron Sheik gets in the ring, it's going to be WrestleMania 38. I am hoping to God
we'll be at WrestleMania.
WWE will bust out the Iron Sheik for WrestleMania 38. Unfortunately, one of my personal favorites, the legendary, the late, great Bobby Heenan, will not be there. I fucking love Bobby Heenan. He's the reason why I have the Brainless One as a name, because it's Bobby Heenan. But the Iron Sheik is definitely worthy of a Hall of Fame induction. All of his work as a professional wrestler. He's a former Olympian.
Yes, he is.
You know, as a Greco.
He was an Iranian Olympian, and then he was bodyguard for was he Iraqi?
I think it was.
Yeah, he was bodyguard for Saddam Hussein, and he defected, came over here, and then he played an Iranian character.
And then he became a coach on the U.S. men's wrestling team.
Yes.
Before he got his chance to become a professional wrestler.
And he lived in Minnesota, had Vergania training him.
Yep.
Just all the legends. One of the biggest legends to come out of Gagne's territory was the Iron Sheik.
You know what's incredible about professional wrestling in like WWE? There's only been like 50 some odd people who have held the WWF/E championship. Yeah. Guys like Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Jinder Mahal,
Bob Backlund, like you just said, Hulk Hogan, obviously,
Bruno Sammartino,
Pedro Morales, The Rock. I was actually going to go to him.
Chris Jericho,
Mick Foley, you name
Diesel.
50 some odd people in professional wrestling history have held the WWE Championship. Your boy from Cleveland, The Miz, is the 40th person to actually held that title, which is a very exclusive club to be a part of.
Very exclusive.
And the Iron Sheik is part of that conversation. Granted, he was a transitional champion, which means they took the title off of one person so they could put it on.
Yeah, back then you wanted your face as a champion.
Yep.
Back then, that's how you did business. And
Bob Backlund
was the face,
champion,
and then
he dropped the title to the Iron Sheik.
I believe that was his second run. The end of that,
I think it was.
And then Iron Sheik dropped it to Hulk Hogan, and he hates the Hulk Hogan because the Hulk Hogan never gives him the credit.
7.5 plus billion people are on this planet, and there's not a human being on this planet that the Iron Sheik hates more than Hulk Hogan. In fact, his quote was from yesterday, "Merry Christmas to everybody except for that blonde bitch Hollywood pussy Hulk Hogan." The fact that he hates him, Tito Sammartino, and freaking Tino Santana. Oh, wow. I have another one, Brainless One. And B. Brian Blair, for whatever reason, will never be.
He used to hate Virgil. I think they've made up. Yeah. But
the Iron Sheik, of all the people, definitely deserves a nomination for wrestling purposes for the FMR's Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. And just personality purposes. He's 80 years old, tweeting up a storm, one of those popular Twitter accounts of wrestlers. His Twitter is fantastic.
His documentary they put.
Oh, that was like 5 or 6 years ago. It was
still great. One of the best documentaries.
Also, he fucked up Caillou on Twitter. Fuck Caillou. Right? Parents know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't know who Caillou was until this whole thing happened. So, but
I don't think Kinsley's gonna be allowed to watch Caillou.
Sad. Yeah. I don't have to watch it. I have to watch Teen Titans.
Teen Titans Go.
Not a terrible show.
No, not bad.
I like what is it, Beast Boy and the.
You should show Kinsley regular show because you could watch it and laugh your fucking ass off.
I watched the
Yeah.
That's like really the only show on like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or whatever it is that she actually watches on the TV.
Yeah, try to get watch regular shit because you'll fucking love it more than her.
Isn't that the show with the Jesse Varner knockoff?
Yeah.
You guys are getting whole sandwiches? My mom.
My mom. Yeah.
That's what it's from. It's like every time, like I said, so we got a package in for Christmas, and Nicole goes, "Where's that from?" I go, "My mom."
You know who else this is from?
My mom. Dude, it actually looks like Jesse if he did that without the receding hairline.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Go ahead. Let's get another category out of the way.
All right. Hopefully Jay's back for when we do this next category. I can't believe we busted through all that. Whatever. All right. So this one definitely has some ties to you because you definitely can agree with this one on this category and everything. Don't fall asleep on me.
Ugh, sorry.
Okay, show that
I have a Red Bull in the car for later.
I have a Monster in the fridge.
Yeah.
So for this one, we're going to go with the Sean Odomsky. I'm sorry. F and Mark's Hall of Famer, Sean Odomsky, mark out moment. Shitbag of the Year award. This one was a very interesting one because
Oh my god, we have so many
people who could have
so many on this
list. The fact that I had to pare this down to 4 is incredible. You know, you had the whole movement that came out with all these wrestlers that looked like fucking shitbags because they were fucking Wienersteins and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it was Jimmy Havoc from AEW who really took a lot of L's. Freaking Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan, yeah.
Joey Ryan definitely.
The Sextatine Dream.
The Velveteen Dream was another person.
Sextatine Dream.
Jack Gallagher, who lost his job for WWE because of the fact that all this shit came out. I mean, there was a lot of British wrestlers that came out and looked really good. I really could have put Dave Lagana, who was president of NWA.
Yeah.
Who NWA has not rebounded from Dave Lagana getting outed in this whole thing. It really made him look really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory, like some of you brought up earlier.
Yeah, he should be in WWE right now. I'm sorry. Neither should the Sextatine Dream, but you know what?
I kind of, I could overlook what Austin Theory did because I don't think what he did was as egregious as some of the other things.
It's still pretty egregious.
I think what Joey Ryan has done was fucking terrible.
No, and Joey Ryan's actually winning that award for me because, honest to God, not only did it have, first of all, the fucking dick move and being that guy.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
Yeah,
it was because of his dick move.
Yeah, exactly. And then literally, and then fucker goes on Twitter and keeps he keeps fucking burying himself. He keeps saying shit. It's like, oh, it's not my fault. Oh, he's trying to get sympathy. It's like, motherfucker, just shut the fuck up for like a couple years. Maybe you'll come back. But no, he keeps fucking talking. He keeps going. And who wants people to have sympathy for him? No, you don't get sympathy for this. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
For me, all the people that I nominated were well deserving. There was people who didn't get nominations who were well deserving.
Oh my god, there's a whole list. Gallagher should have been
a nomination.
Yeah, no, honestly, any other year he would have won.
Yeah, any other year he would have won. But then again, I think that Joey Ryan any other year would have won. Obviously, I understand why you put him as yours.
No, fuck him.
Deserving. He deserved that. Jay put Jimmy Havoc, who was also nominated. Jimmy Havoc, who physically and emotionally destroyed his ex-girlfriend. Well deserving of a fucking nomination for that. The Velveteen Dream with all the stuff that he's
the Sextatine Dream. How is he like a mild case compared to some of these guys?
And the fact that
unreal.
He's basically Michael Jackson 2.0.
They just let him on TV again. Like what the fuck?
Jerry Sandusky got put in prison because of the things that he does, and Velveteen Dream did not.
Yeah, and so should Joe Paterno, but he died.
But unfortunately, one person who definitely deserved a nomination was Vince McMahon. And not because of the fact that Vince McMahon has had these things come.
I mean, we all know he already. Come on.
Yeah, but,
he definitely does.
I mean, the thing is that Vince didn't have any of this shit come out like some of these guys that Jimmy Havoc had came out. It's the fact that Vince McMahon has been taking fucking L's all throughout 2020 because I'll tell you right now, number one, he looked fucking horrible after Dark Side of the Ring. People saw Vince McMahon for who he was because of the whole Chris Benoit. Eddie Guerrero won.
Mm-hmm.
The Superfly Jimmy Snuka made him look bad. And I'll tell you right now, I am disgusted months later from what he did to fucking Owen Hart back in 1999.
I should wear my own heart shirt today. I knew I should wear my
And
own
like,
heart shirt today.
you know, because of all of that, and the fact that during a pandemic, and he's firing people who now can't collect money.
That's what.
It's just, and the fact that WWE had one of their highest grossing quarters.
Oh no,
after
this
all
pandemic has been great for billionaires. It's been fucking fantastic for them. In fact,
we got a check for $1,200 from our president, Donald J. Trump.
that was my fucking money. It wasn't from him. It's a fucking refund.
Hey, that $1,200 bought me a new car.
$1,200 might buy me a house one day, but like, it's a refund. It's my money. And where's my $2,000, Don? Huh? You said that you should do that, but they didn't do it.
But I will say this. With the whole thing with the last buddy show that they did, the Super Showdown down in Saudi Arabia, where the wrestlers got caught and held hostage in that situation. Then firing all of his people back in fucking April during a fucking pandemic.
Which is I'm sorry. That was the worst thing he possibly ever could have done. That was the way to make yourself
you're horrible. Safety and well-being of your employees is worse than firing people during a pandemic. I mean, there's a really we're pulling hair. It's like it doesn't matter what Vince McMahon does. What Vince McMahon has done this year is so fucking bad that it's just like
it just confirms everything we've ever thought about it.
You and I can sit here and have a hissing argument over what the reason why Vince McMahon fucking deserves this award.
Oh, he deserves everything he's done this year.
But the fact is that the man fucking deserves the goddamn award. Nothing personal. Joey Ryan does deserve this award.
No.
Fucking Jimmy Havoc deserves this award. The Velveteen Dream deserves this fucking award. Dave Lacano deserves this award. There's so many people who could have won this award. But for me, Vince McMahon took more L's in 2020 than the New York Jets.
Wow, and the Jets actually won something.
And the Jets actually won a game. But between the dark side of the ring shit that came out about him, the fact that he released all these people saying there was a cost-cutting move and then has his most productive quarter of the existence of WWE, the fact that, you know, everybody, I mean, the whole Dean, you know, the John Moxley interview didn't make him look good. The thing about Miro coming out and fucking shitting all over him, and the fact that people are still talking shit about Vince McMahon. Oh, excuse me.
Damn.
That's for my soul. But for everything that has happened in 2020, Vince McMahon deserves my Sean O Shitbag of the Year award.
I think that's fair. I mean, like you said, a lot of people could have won that, but I mean,
Jay did vote for Jimmy Havoc.
So we're all in disagreement. Hey, you know what? Kill winners. How's that sound?
Well, let me see. Let me look at the
right,
votes.
can I pee first?
Yeah,
You can be by yourself for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sounds like Jay's coming back anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, wrong one. It looks like the Bag of the Year award from everybody else. Vince McMahon has gotten some votes. And Vincent McMahon. So amazingly, so it looks like by unanimous decision, Vince McMahon has deserved the Shitbag of the Year award. So congratulations to Vince McMahon on being Shitbag of the Year. Joey Ryan coming from this gentleman and Jimmy Havoc coming from this gentleman. But it seems like the masses have spoke and Vince McMahon deserves it. And I'm sorry. I mean, he took a massive L this year. It just seems like Vince McMahon can't get out of his own way. Yes, obviously, what the grand scheme of things from what the other gentlemen have done who were nominated deserve the award. But I'm sorry, this year Vince McMahon deserves the Shitbag of the Year award. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't really miss much. You only missed the Iron Sheik getting inducted, and you missed that Vince McMahon almost unanimously, getting the Shitbag of the Year award.
Yeah.
Although every single person who was nominated and other people who were not nominated were deserving of this award. No. Oh, I just Dikembe Mutombo you, huh? Oh,
not in my house. Hey, buddy, that's my chair.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you, it's my chair. You good now, Snickle Fritz?
Yeah.
Buddy?
Come here.
I don't know if he's great, but yeah.
That's a need to know thing. Anyway. All right, so we got the Sean O Shitbag of the Year award out. I told everybody you said Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah, Jimmy Havoc.
There's like 18 people who could have won that award though.
Dave Logano definitely would have won it too because he basically almost killed NWA.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one on the docket, we are going to go with the Triple H Golden Shovel Award.
It's all about the game and how you game it.
What I will say about the Golden Shovel of the Year award is it goes to the greatest burial of them all. Whether it's the Nexus, who got buried by John Cena at the 2010 SummerSlam, or Shawn Michaels, who got buried at the 2005 SummerSlam by
Summerfest.
Hulk Hogan, brother. This is a very interesting category because there's quite a few people who are well deserving.
I mean, AJ Styles quite literally got buried.
Thank you. I was hoping you were going to do that. So for me and us and the rest of this podcast, the nominations are very well deserving. Goldberg defeating The Fiend at the Super Showdown, which also helped Vince McMahon win the biggest shitbag of the year award. Otis losing everything. How did Otis Dosovich got buried worse than anybody else? Because at the beginning of the year, he got the girl. He was part of that tag team that everybody fucking loved. And he had the Money in the Bank briefcase. And over like a span of a month, he lost Mandy Rose, the Money in the Bank briefcase, and his best friend Tucker. So I would think that deserves him of a nomination for Burial of the Year. Although I really think that something will come of this from Otis Dosovich instead of nothing.
You would like to think so.
As Jay said, The Undertaker buries AJ Styles, literally. And Dark Side of the Ring destroys Vince McMahon. So that's actually yours, so I don't want to hold on to that.
Yeah.
So what gets the Burial of the Year?
I mean, Vince McMahon got buried as fuck, but it's not like if he gets buried, it's a big fucking deal. I mean,
because he's still raking in
the fucking money. He's still in charge of the most profitable wrestling company ever in existence. I would have to say, from a character standpoint, Otis Dosovich had the greatest fall, easily. I mean, that Money in the Bank win, which was goofy, fluky, but it was fun.
I liked it. I like the way they did it.
I like the way they did it. Yep. And then, all of a sudden, you have The Miz come in, take his Money in the Bank briefcase, and then fucking lose anyway.
Yep.
Honestly, I think it would have been better off if Dozer would have had a match against Roman Reigns, and we would have lost.
It would have looked better if he had actually lost the thing to Roman Reigns.
Exactly, instead of losing to the fucking Miz.
Although apparently the rumors going around is that they're going to give the briefcase back to the Pride of Cleveland, like Mizanin, and say that because John Morrison was the one that actually cashed in the briefcase, should be the reason why the Miz gets his briefcase back. And I need Miz as champion once again. It is my favorite thing ever.
It's been 10 years.
And I'll tell you right now, Cleveland needs as many W's as they can get. And as long as they get them from the place that is called WWE, they should get all the W's they can. Between Johnny Gargano and Dolph Ziggler and fucking The Miz. Obviously, when Dana Brooke wins half of the women's tag team titles, you can say that you're still the most famous alum from your high school.
I'm not, but
yes, you are.
Dana Brooke is. Actually,
you're a better correspondent on this podcast than she is.
Chris Broussard actually is, but
okay, I'll give you Chris.
Yeah,
which is luckily for me that I am still the most famous alum from Bristol Eastern High School, and you are second behind Aaron Hernandez. But still alive, you are the number one person from Bristol.
Sad.
But anyway, so
you put yourself over the Josephson twins, all right?
I don't think they went to Bristol Eastern.
Hey, they won gold medals.
So you guys, who do you give the Golden Shovel burial? It looks like we have Dark Side over Vince McMahon.
Otis.
We have one that says, "Ooh, this is a good one actually."
The Golden Shovel
burial of the year from now newly appointed FMR's Hall of Famer Chris Brown, not protecting Ricochet from Vince's idiocy, wins the Golden Shovel burial of the ring. I
mean that's very good, but I'm going with Otis.
That's a well-deserved.
Otis.
I mean, everything was pointing towards good things for Otis, and Vince decided, We're going another direction, pal.
Hey, pal, you're too fat, pal.
I will say this, and I'm only going to do this because of the fact that I am a fucking mark of all of this, and I care about personal accomplishments. I actually originally had something on there before I put Undertaker and AJ Styles for WrestleMania, but because I said that this was a podcast all about everything that we've done in professional wrestling and everything, and it's not about personal goals and satisfactions. But you know what? God damn it. I am going to give myself an award this year so that I could be like my hero, Owen Hart, and I could be a 2-time Markie Award winner because of the fact that, A, I am the brains behind the
Yeah, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Oh, absolutely. If it wasn't
You are not.
Hey, listen.
No.
In
Our
my-
kickball teammate is the brains behind that.
Yes, but if it wasn't for me putting it into your brain and your brain, that never would have taken off the way it did. So, insert de facto, I feel like I deserve a very good portion of the reasoning behind the getting over as big as got over.
Yeah?
But because of that, it doesn't matter. I think that the burial of the year goes to COVID-19 burying the
Everybody.
brainless one from going to WrestleMania this year. Because if you think about it, nobody got buried in 2020 better than the brainless one due to COVID, because I was supposed to have my resurrection moment at WrestleMania because I was
the
going to
Undertaker.
like I was supposed to meet Sheamus and I was supposed to meet The Miz and I was going to go there and watch, Bray Wyatt beat John Cena. But you know what? I want the 2 Markie Awards so that I can be a 2-time Markie Award winner. So that I can introduce myself as a Markie Award winner. And who am I kidding? I know I can't even give myself that award. My winner for the award goes to Vince McMahon getting buried by the dark side of the ring. Because nobody took a bigger L in 2020 than Vince and Kennedy McMahon.
Not his bank account.
See, like, I can't even give him that.
What is this?
Brainless is an
Also,
ass.
de facto, brainless is an ass.
Ha ha! That's your girlfriend.
Yeah!
Hold on. It's the first time during this podcast. To be fair. She knows what kind of a person I am, so that's actually a very accurate statement.
Yeah!
I'm going to give this next nomination or next award out there, and then I'm going. Wait, the champion, John Bradshaw Layfield should have shorts. All right. So what do we have left? So we have the
Mark out moment of the year, male wrestler of the year,
worst wrestler of the year. That's
and worst male wrestler of the year.
All right, so I said we go back to back with the male wrestler of the year and then the worst wrestler of the year. Male wrestler of the year, I have quite a few really deserving nominations for male wrestler of the year.
Yeah!
I love Gosh.
Yeah!
Oh, in 2020,
Yeah!
in 2021, Gosport's gonna win like a Markie Award for whatever it is. We'll come up with a category so they can win it, or they're going in the Hall of Fame.
Best Wednesday specials.
Yes.
Yes, those fucking sliders are tremendous.
Yeah! I miss the brats, though.
I do miss the brats too. But I will say this: those fucking tots are fucking absolutely delicious.
Yes.
And so are their beer. What the hell is it?
The beer cheese?
The nachos.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Irish nachos are fucking tremendous. So for male wrestler of the year and the shittiest wrestler of the year, for these categories, the male wrestler of the year is a very prestigious award because it goes to the wrestlers who exemplify what being the best of the best is. Certain people who really stick out, or obviously if this podcast was going on during the 80s and 90s, Hulk Hogan would probably be sweeping this shit like Roman Reigns sweeps the wettest hair award. And the shittiest wrestler, obviously, Duke Drosy would have won this award at least once or twice in his existence, if you ask Cousin Jet. Even though I think he's a tremendous character, but what the fuck do I know? I'm brainless.
The worst.
So for me, when I put up these nominations, and I know that you agreed with me on a lot of these nominations because they're all people who are well deserving.
Yes.
Male Wrestler of the Year, Walter from NXT UK, the reigning, defending, two-time WWE champion Drew McIntyre, the former AEW World Champion who held the title for a very good amount of time during 2020, Jon Moxley, and a man who really needs no introduction, somebody who is a former champion on more than one occasion, one of the greatest of all time, and in my opinion, a guy who could, in any given time, could be in my Rushmore of greatest wrestlers of all time. He just has to take out either Chris Jericho, Hulk Hogan, or The Undertaker for that title.
Playa.
But a guy who definitely deserves it nonetheless. The three most devastating letters in all of professional wrestling. Randall, Keith, Orton. Who are not letters.
No, they're not.
RKO.
You brainless one to yourself.
All right, so you guys can give your 2 cents.
well,
I'm going to bleed the lizard.
I think the wrestler who had the best year was Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
Finally got the monkey off his back. Finally won the world title. Won it twice now.
Yeah.
Finally fulfilling the prophecy that Vince McMahon had years and years ago.
The chosen one.
Chosen one. And honestly, you know, he
Skywalker
got
did that
huge.
too?
He got ginormous. He just
Right?
perfected his craft. And Drew McIntyre is one of the most entertaining wrestlers on the main roster now because of that.
As much as I hear everything you're saying, as much as I think like Moxley had an incredible year, I'm going with Randy Orton just based off of the storylines he was in. For me, I was captivated by like basically everything he was involved with, whether it was the Edge storyline, whether or not you loved the matches, the storyline build up for the Edge matches was like pitch perfect. The stuff he did with the Fiend was fucking fantastic, and like the stuff he did with McIntyre. As much as I hate when so Orton loses Drew McIntyre, and then somehow gets another match for the WWE title, and then loses another match and ends up with another match for the WWE title. Despite all that, Orton took things like that, which annoy me, and still made it work. And he made it work. Again, that Edge storyline started in January. Went till WrestleMania, went to the greatest match ever. And then, then he went to the Drew McIntyre storyline. Then he went to the Fiend storyline. And in general, just knocked it out of the park this year with everything. You're talking achievement. Yeah, Drew McIntyre or Jon Moxley needs to get this award. But I just thought Randy Orton fucking killed it all year this year. And I think the fact that we had coronavirus this year and there weren't as many live shows, I think that helped guys like Randy Orton, where it's like, hey, you don't need to be on 250 shows a year. You just need to show up for TV. And in general, also with coronavirus, it's like going, my hope is that this has made it so Vince McMahon's like, oh, I can still make money without, killing my superstars by having them take 5 million bumps a year. They only have to take 1 million, and I still make just as much money, if not more.
Yep.
All right, fucking great. But Randall Keith Orton is my superstar of the year.
And who did you go with?
We went with Drew McIntyre.
Both of those guys are very well deserving of those.
I know who you're going with.
I don't think you do. I really don't. I think this is a fucking shot in the freaking. We did have quite a few votes for Randy Orton as well. And we also had quite a few votes for McIntyre. And as much as I wanted to go with Walter as my Wrestler of the Year, because he spent all of 2020 as the NXT UK champion. He has been delivering in a way that I've never seen anybody really deliver in the wrestling industry. But for me, there's one wrestler in particular who I did not nominate in the list of nominations. There was one wrestler in particular that really stood out for me in 2020. A guy,
Kenny Omega?
A guy who really exemplified what a champion really is. Somebody who has been rather entertaining as well and has been one of those guys who is a star is going to be a WWE Hall of Famer. No fucking question in my mind. And one of
Like Demolition, right?
one of the most egregious people who has not won the WWE Championship, who should have won it years ago because of his performance in a certain city that is in a certain state that certain people are living in right now. And my nomination for Superstar of the Year for 2020, R-Truth.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. R-Truth.
The GOAT.
The man has...
How many championships did he win this year?
R-Truth is the greatest champion, if you think about it, in WWE history because he has won more championships than anyone else, which is incredible considering back during the Attitude Era, they had the freaking hardcore title, which changed hands rather frequently. And Chris Jericho did say that he is one of the top 5 when it comes to like championship reigns in WWE history. And like Raven was the number 1 guy. Now it's R-Truth. R-Truth is the greatest champion in WWE history because of the fact that he's the greatest 24/7, 365, 7-Eleven European television champion of all time.
Yeah.
So R-Truth, you get love from the Brainless One.
All right.
So, for the worst wrestler of the year.
Nia Jax.
The world.
Do we even need to do nominations? It's Nia Jax. It's
No,
always Nia Jax.
we already did the female.
No, it's not female. It's worst wrestler, period, right?
I mean, to be fair, Jeff can actually vote for whoever he wants to vote for.
All right, Nia Jax.
Wait,
All right.
Can you do Nyla Rose in this category?
Why?
I'm just wondering.
She's not bad.
Oh, but she's a wrestling dude. All right, so for the worst male wrestlers of the year, our nominations are, although your Nia Jax could get votes because I'm pretty sure it did. I have Peter Avalon, who just recently won his first match of his career in AEW. Riddick Moss, who is probably the most forgettable person in all of WWE next to fucking...
He's still in WWE. Wait, he's still in WWE.
We have former NFL Super Bowl champion Rob Gronkowski, who a lot of people will forget was actually a WWE superstar at one point this year.
And won the 24/7 title.
He scored a touchdown today. He scored a touchdown today.
He's a former champion, yada, yada, yada. And lastly, you okay? You okay? You're going to need a moment before I announce this last nomination for shittiest wrestler of the year?
Go ahead.
I feel like Bobby Heenan when I saw Jim Duggan's wrestling a match. He's a very intelligent man. The last nomination for worst wrestler of the year goes to Slapjack. Jay, I think I have an idea of where you're going.
Gronk just scored another touchdown while we're talking about him.
She's my sister.
Yeah.
All right. So
Gronk just scored another touchdown while we're talking about
so
him.
who's the worst wrestler of the year, Jeff?
Nia Jax.
But she's not a monster. That's what her song says.
She's not like
She's
most
not
girls.
like most girls. Yeah.
I'm not a monster. Whatever the fuck it is.
Go ahead, guys.
So
Go ahead.
Nia Jax has gotten more than one vote for this one. So
Worst male.
actually, no, I'm sorry. Riddick Moss actually got a vote in this one. Worst wrestler. What did this person say? Yep. So Jeff is going with Nia Jax, which is actually a very acceptable answer in this situation because originally the category is going to be worst wrestler, not worst female and male wrestler. So technically, you got it right.
I did.
So congratulations to you. And that, my friend, is the reason why you are an F. Marks Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
So you recognize when you needed to recognize.
You better recognize.
Who is your worst wrestler of the year, Jay? Slapjack.
You want to play Slapjack again?
You know what's funny? I really wanted to say Rob Gronkowski because, A, Pat McAfee in the same situation is doing 100 times better than what Rob Gronkowski was expected to do. And Rob Gronkowski was fucking terrible at WrestleMania. Like, his performance was so fucking bad. I would have put it in part of Clash of the Champions 13 instead of fucking WrestleMania 36 this year.
Clash of the Champions 13 is an effing Marks Hall of Famer.
Yes, and Rob Gronkowski will never, ever sniff our fucking Hall of Fame. Thank you very little. But for me, and as much as I want to say Nia Jax because I really wanted her to win this award, I'm only going to do this because one person in particular is in agreement with me. I mean, other people are also in agreement with me, but I'm putting Slapjack in the fucking Worst Wrestler of the Year award. Just because I would love to see Jay fucking shit himself one more time because of the fact that Slapjack is the worst. So Slapjack with your fucking paper plate with the cutouts in it, fucking mask, you deserve the worst. Oh, yeah, and it's funny too because Chris Brown actually said it was Riddick Moss, and then chimed in and said that Rob Gronkowski is a giant pussy. You got to be careful though, Chris Brown. If you say shit like that, Rob Gronkowski will fucking block you on Twitter like Kevin Owens did when I made a joke about fucking cupcakes.
Right,
you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
So we have one more nomination for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And we'll get into our markout moment of the year, which would be the final category. So this person in particular, I don't even know if he's chiming in. At this point, we've been on for
3 hours.
We feel like we've been on for like Mad Men.
Yeah, close to 3 hours.
Wait, yeah.
Basically,
at least to me.
Yes, I do too. This person is deserving of this nomination as somebody who is a great follower of the podcast, and he's also somebody who does a great job at making Jay and I laugh on a regular basis. This person is a tremendous individual. No disrespect to anybody else in the Hall of Fame. I love every single one of you. I love every single person who is in the F and Marks Hall of Fame.
Hit me.
But this person definitely deserves a Hall of Fame nomination just because of everything they've contributed to us, baby. And this person needs no introduction at this point. And we actually added our first celebrity to the F and Marks Hall of Fame, and not your dad, Drew Carey. I'm sorry. But Eric, I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher this anyway, Heivelman, a.k.a. Gags the Clown. Welcome to the F and Marks Hall of Fame. I will say this, in the first 3 years we've done the F and Marks Hall of Fame, every single person who has been inducted has been a slam dunk decision to be into this. Whether it's you, or if it's the Iron Sheik,
or to keep Jesse out.
Or if it, yes, exactly. Or if it's Shauno, you all are very well deserving of being in the F and Marks Hall of Fame for one way or another. Chris Brown, you're definitely a well-deserving member of the F and Marks Hall of Fame. You've done great things for this podcast. Same thing with Jeff. I'm very happy to have both you as not only a part of the podcast, but of the podcast Hall of Fame, because you guys are very well deserving of that title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that would hurt my ears.
You hurt yourself.
So now it brings us to our last category of the 2020 Markout Awards. And this category is, obviously, it earns the namesake, the Markout Moment of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a very interesting category because we've had 2 years in a row where somebody has really stood out and has won the Markout Moment of the Year.
This year, not so much.
Last year, it was Roman Reigns coming back from leukemia. And no disrespect to Kofi Kingston finally winning the big match last year.
I mean,
that got my vote last year. But nevertheless, it was still a pretty big moment of 2019. And we've had some great moments that have happened in 2020 as well. But there is one that really sticks out the most of all the other ones. So the nominations are The Undertaker rides off into the sunset after burying AJ Styles.
I worked out of that.
Because Fag Taker came back?
Yes.
Yes, I believe this one was a nomination that I figured that Jay would, if anything, appreciate more than anything else. The Impact return of the Motor City Machine Gun.
Yeah.
A very long hiatus.
I love that.
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin returning to the company as the Motor City Machine Gun.
Motor
I think it was-
City Machine.
Sorry, close enough.
Alex Shelley is the only person to have appeared for WWE, Impact, and AEW in the same calendar year, which is very impressive because he did team up with your boy Kushida down at NXT during the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Tag Team Tournament that they had, which isn't the same as the Pat O'Connell
Connor Memorial Tournament, which was in F&M Mark's Hall of Fame.
Brand new for Mark's Hall of Fame inductee.
Clash of the
Clash of
Champions 13.
Which is probably more deserving of anybody else, no offense, of anybody else or anything else in the F&M Mark's Hall of Fame.
So good. So good.
For me, this one's a personal favorite of mine, and I had to put it in there. Drake Maverick. His whole thing where he was let go in April as part of the
Legit let go
from WWE was part of the interim Cruiserweight Championship tournament that they had, kind of like the round robin, like what they do with the World Cup every single year. Made it to the finals, lost to Phantasmo or whatever the fuck the guy's name was, and still got the contract with NXT. Just that hard work that he put in there and how wonderful of a moment that was. Any other year would have won the award for him, but the heavy favorite going into it is Edge's return at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
On this day, I see clearly.
A couple of weeks ago, I actually threw on the 2020 Royal Rumble to when Edge came out, and that fucking ovation is just...
That was the last big pop we had in wrestling before COVID happened.
No, that's the last big pop we've had in 2020 before COVID happened.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I mean, like, you gotta have to give it to him. I mean, like, we never thought we'd see Edge again.
Nope.
Never ever thought that. He even thought that. He thought he was done.
Yeah. I'm so...
On this day, I see clearly everything is come to light. In a place, in a broken dream, and leave it all behind.
Congratulations to Edge, WWE Hall of Famer Edge, on winning the F.M. Marks Award for Florida Moment of the Year.
You know what? Congratulations to that dude who thought he was never... He was close to the end of his career, like when all this went down. He was like, "Yeah, I think I got about a year left." He needs to end his career how he wants to end his career, and he's going to. Yeah, his tricep got effed up, and we're going to see him, I think, probably around Royal Rumble.
I love to
If
see
he wins the Royal Rumble, I'm going nuts.
I want him and Styles at WrestleMania this year. I'm sorry, nothing more. I don't want anything else. I want fucking Styles and Edge at WrestleMania. We deserve that match at WrestleMania.
And both of them want that match.
Yep, they do.
So, congratulations to Edge for getting back to where he wants to be. And congratulations to Kevin Dunn for fucking it up. You did so
They
good.
had to do hidden footage on the internet for it.
Yeah. Basically, Dolph Ziggler was like, "Oh, well, at least I'm glad somebody was able to capture when Edge's first spear happened."
Yeah, exactly.
When he came back. So yeah.
So, you want to do a good and bad and the brainless, or should we just skip that for this week?
We did our good and bad brainless for the year.
Man, we're good, man.
I did want to say that for my good this week, if we were doing a good, bad, and brainless for this week, that Kevin Dunn, I know, a shocker, right? Kevin Dunn would actually get the brainless as good for this week because of the fact that he actually hit on every fucking angle during the match between Randy Orton and The Fiend on this past week during the Firefly Funhouse Inferno match at TLC's pay-per-view. Obviously, absolute abomination, but Kevin Dunn, you actually did something right. I'm guessing that there wasn't a dam within 100 miles of the fucking show on Sunday, so that's why you nailed it.
Yeah.
One more announcement I would like to make. Starting in the year of 2021, which is next year, I am going to be implementing a Hall of Fame committee. So going forward, the entire Hall of Fame committee the Hall of Fame inductees will be going through the committee as to who will be going into the F.M. Marks Hall of Fame starting in 2021. And it's a big momentous occasion that I'm making this announcement because the man that I am putting in charge of the F.M. Marks Hall of Fame committee is none other than F. Mark's Hall of Famer, El Jefe.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You are now officially in charge of the F. Mark's Hall of Fame.
You want me in charge of something?
Of the, I think this is the best decision I could make. This was something that you had pitched to us over a year ago.
Did I?
And I actually sat on it for a year and I thought about it.
Wow,
and Jay and I had actually discussed
Even
about
though he
it.
doesn't have a brain,
You know,
he thought about it.
He did.
Hey,
Yeah.
I am the scarecrow in
shit.
this one. So the Hall of Fame committee will consist of you as the chairman, newly appointed Hall of Famers Gags the Clown and Christopher Brown. I am also making Tommy, the OG F. Mark's Hall of Famer, part of this committee, as well as Don't Eat the Brown Snow.
All right.
But you will be in charge of the F. Mark's Hall of Fame committee
We'll get those
starting
DMs
into
then.
2021. I will get a chat going with all of you as part of it.
All
So,
right.
Jeff, what are your thoughts on being named the head of the Hall of Fame committee?
Wow, what a fucking honor.
Yeah.
Wow, that was very enthusiastic too, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah.
So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
all of the Hall of Fame inductees.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the people who have chimed in during the our 5th annual award show. And it just wouldn't be an award show unless we went 75 hours long,
Jesus
which
Christ.
is just
Dude,
like doing an episode with Jesse on a regular basis.
Hey, panel, he's not getting in.
Yeah.
I will have to bribe the panel about putting Big C in the Hall of Fame next year. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that hard once I give my reason.
That's what she said.
But anyway, if you like what you've seen, whether you are a first-time watcher or a continuous fan, make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Fuck you, Periscope. You're out. At the letter T, the letter H, the letter E, the letter F, the letter N, MARKS. We are the F and Marks. If you like, follow, and subscribe to us, we will do the same back. That has always been our motto.
Yeah. It is our motto. But make sure you like us on the All Elite Marks page and set up notifications for when we go live, tuning in and joining in with the chat.
Mostly
with
every
us.
Saturday.
Mostly every Saturday around noon-ish, Eastern Standard Time.
It won't be this long every time.
No,
Yeah.
this was an end of the year award, so I mean,
This was the Markie Awards. We dressed up for the occasion.
You guys
so,
did.
Yeah.
I like the Steve Austin shirt.
Thank
though.
you.
The El Segundo.
Yeah, I got it from ProWrestlingTees.com. Yeah.
Very nice.
Maybe they'll
Very
sponsor us
nice.
one day.
Great
Still to this day,
success.
still to this day, the only beer I've given a 5-star rating on Untapped.
Yeah.
God, you're such a snob.
No, it's because of the fact that if Steve Austin had pissed in the fucking bottle and they threw hops and alcohol in it, I'd still give it 5 stars.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just like if Johnny Gargano did the same thing for you, you would do the same thing.
Yes.
But that's the only reason.
Mainly is gone.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think we gotta wrap it up, guys. I got a place to be.
Wait.
Hold on 1 second. There's one thing left.
Yes,
still
we
need to
do.
That's because today,
Where is he? There he is.
on December 26th, 2020, an astonishing 1,969
Nice.
days, F. Mark Hall of Famer is still alive in the 2015 Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have that fixed next week. It appears that the brainless one is still brainless. I have to look into this and get into an argument, but nevertheless, we'll have it all figured out for next week in regards to Curtis Axel.
He's still alive, no matter what.
Oh yeah, he's still alive, and I can't wait until
You must have a leap year fuck you up or something.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hear that, or as Eric Cartman would say, I just suck at math.
Yeah.
I didn't take into account that second math. But anyway, for episode 203 of the F and Marks podcast,
I'm Jay.
I'm the brainless one.
And I'm El Jefe.
Make sure you fuck up.
With their guaco. See you, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes? Oh shit. Now streaming Letterkenny Season 9.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah, bud. Yeah, Yeah, Leonard
You
Kenny.
gotta watch Leonard Kenny,
Yeah,
boys.
they tweeted like 6 this morning, like, "Hey, you can watch Leonard Kenny right now." I'm like, "Sweet," and I go watch it. It's not